office shortly after this, saying that Musk would still be making recommendations. Listen to what he said.
Keep all the people you want, everybody that you need. People that aren't doing a good job, that are unreliable, don't show up to work, etc., those people can be cut. We're going to be watching them, and Elon and the group are going to be watching them. And if they can cut, it's better. And if they don't cut, then Elon will do the cutting.
So you hear Trump there essentially putting these cabinet members on notice that, yes, they have the final decision-making power, but Musk will still be looking over their shoulder to ensure this is all going according to plan. So you can easily see how that could turn into a power struggle down the line. The president did make clear that this would be an ongoing conversation. He said he would convene his cabinet members and Musk for these types of meetings every 2 weeks.
Kevin Liptak at the White House this morning. Okay, the way I read this situation, because that is possibly a big change in this second Trump administration. You know, the unfettered power, the unlimited power that Elon Musk and Doge have had thus far 1 month in. Is that now changing, or is there another possibility? Is there another reason that the Trump administration held that cabinet meeting yesterday with all the department heads and the secretary heads? I've got a thought on that. I think this could go one of two ways. I'll explain when we come back. So much to talk about. Again, 9:35, we're going live to Rome. 10:05, I mentioned that sports betting bill, the sports gambling bill, went down to defeat again. We're going to get to vote on it. The local representative that brought that to the floor is going to join us live at 10:05, and we'll have complete wrap-up, recap coverage of the crossover day yesterday at the Gold Dome. Social medias will be active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News, hoping with Paws Atlanta to find a home for our WSB Dog of the Month, Goldfish. 3-year-old Pitty, displaced after the Biolab fire, loved a good belly rub when he came to visit us. Meet him at WSBRadio.com/dog, and our sponsor Finley Roofing will pay the adoption fees for Goldfish's new human. WSBRadio.com/dog.
That spot on the ceiling, it's only gonna get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker from my experts at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Finley now has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get your roof replaced. FinleyRoofing.com. Roof.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
9:17 on the Mark Arum Show. Checking new trouble on I-75. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Mike Shields.
Yeah, Mark, watching this crash just happen. And as we speak, the fire department pulling up now. 2 left lanes blocked on I-75 northbound just before Canton Road, Highway 5, exit 267. Already sluggish as you leave South Mariner Parkway, exit 263. You can use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate. This report is brought to you by Georgia United Credit Union. Georgia United Credit Union has cooked up something special, a 15-month limited time CD with an incredible 4.25% APY. Turn your dough into more dough by visiting gcuc.org/CD today. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Because I am a forgetful fella, Deborah, please remind me at the end of the show to give a star of the show the entire WSB traffic team this morning. Can you remember to do that for me?
Oh, definitely. Of course.
We had
yes,
that
they earned it.
3-hour traffic red alert on the downtown connector. And luckily, I start my day listening to Atlanta's Morning News on the WSB radio app, as you all should. And I heard Smile and Mark McKay tell us about this connector south shutdown at North Avenue. So my brain was, clicking. And I'm like, all right, I got to take my alternates. And I punched up Waze after I picked up the donuts at Dunkin' Donuts for Donut Friday and Longoria's birthday.
Right.
And Waze was still like, oh, no, go ahead. You can take your normal route. And I was like, no. That's where I override Waze. I'm like, I'm not getting on 85 South if the connector's shut down. So I went the back road, saved it. But stars of the show to the entire morning show traffic team for getting me around that red alert. Luckily, you get to sleep in, Longoria. You probably didn't have any.
No, I didn't have any problems.
Yeah,
It
no
was
problems
smooth.
whatsoever.
I woke
Exactly
up
right.
to it, though, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I realized that it was clear, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you're fine. All right, so could Doge be reined in moving forward? Now, I have 2 thoughts on this. One is, yeah, they should have done it in the first place, right? To go in willy-nilly. And we talked about it in the air, and people got mad at me for saying they shouldn't just blanketly lay off all of these probationary employees. Probationary employees meaning you've been with the company for less than 2 years or you've transitioned into a position in the last 2 years. Because you're going to lose good people like that. And a lot of veterans that were hired at all of these federal agencies, after serving 15, 20 years in the military, they transitioned to civilian life. And a lot of ex-military work after the military in government jobs. They make that transition, which I think is double smart because you can get the double the pension. So a lot of these probationary employees were veterans and probably really good workers. And I was very critical of the way they were doing this. Remember, I asked everyone to think about 3 of the most dependable people you work with, 3 invaluable people, and the 3 least valuable. Now, if you had to cut 3 people, you would cut the 3 least valuable. But if you're doing this from 50,000 feet and you don't know who's valuable or not, there's a chance that the 3 most valuable, they could have been probationary employees and law. So, I mean, it makes, I've been saying this since it happened. It made no sense to go in there. I used the blowtorch analogy. Elon Musk had the famous chainsaw he brought on stage that he was taking it to a chainsaw, but it should have been more precise, more scalpel-like instead of a chainsaw on who you get rid of. Sure, if there is an excess number of people working at a certain federal agency, we want to cut costs, go ahead but do it judiciously, not haphazardly. So that's the first option. And I think that's what everyone initially reacted to is like, oh, they realized that a lot of good people were losing their jobs. We had 150 folks from the CDC that were fired get called back to work. Now, I don't know if I would do that. If Ken Charles fired me and then 2 weeks later he's like, no, come on back to work. I don't know if I'd come back to work. I don't blame the CDC folks if they don't come back to work after that. So that's been the initial reaction from everybody from that Trump cabinet meeting yesterday, closed-door cabinet meeting, where he said it's no longer DOJ in charge of firing employees at these different agencies. It's up to the cabinet heads. That was everyone's initial reaction, which might be the case. Or it could be option number 2. Do you want door number 1 or door number 2? If you remember the, what was that? Let's make a deal. Yeah. Do you want this small box on stage or do you want door number 2? Oh, let's see what's behind door number 2, Bob. Door number 2 is, option number 2 is the USAID Supreme Court decision earlier in the week was big breaking news. 5-4. 2 conservative justices voted with the liberals saying they can't just defund USAID. And there are a plethora, dozens, scores of court challenges for what DOJ has been doing so far in the second Trump administration. A lot of court battles still to be fought. But the first one that gets to the Supreme Court is a 5-4 loss for DOJ and the Trump administration. That opened some eyes, I bet. And I bet legal counsel at the White House and all the lawyers that have been working for the Trump administration, this is behind door number 2. I'm not saying this is the case, but this is an option. They said, you know what? If we're going to win some of these court cases, it can't be Elon Musk and DOJ that are firing these people. The courts might say that Musk and DOJ don't have the authority through the executive branch to fire people from the VA, the Department of Education, all of the government agencies that President Trump wants to thin down. That could be why we had that private cabinet meeting yesterday and why it wasn't public and why we didn't hear from the president or the cabinet leaders before and after. That could have been what has been discussed, what was discussed behind the closed doors, saying, listen, we've got to change our strategy on this because we don't want to lose court battles. If we continue this path, there's a chance the Supreme Court's going to slap our hand and negate everything we've done so far. So this could just simply be a change in strategy where we won't see fewer people laid off by DOJ. We won't see people, haphazardly be fired, but it will come from a directive from the cabinet instead of DOJ. The FBI, let's do the FBI, for example. They want to make massive cuts at the FBI. DOJ comes in and says, all right, 50,000 FBI agents, probationary, you're gone. No oversight. No talking to them, no interviewing them, not talking to their managers. $50K, you're out the door. They went, perhaps behind door number 2, they went to Kash Patel and said, all right, Kash, everything's going to funnel to you now because you, as the FBI director, have the authority to let go of FBI agents. So Elon's DOJ might send Kash Patel an email. We think we need to get rid of 40,000 people. You go ahead and do it. Because you have the legal authority, perhaps, to do it, whereas DOJ and Musk do not. I don't know if that is what happened behind closed doors at the cabinet meeting, but that's an option we need to consider. Not just the knee-jerk reaction like, oh, of course, you've got to take your time and be patient. Musk shouldn't go in and just fire, 80,000, like the VA, 80,000 workers without doing some due diligence. Like that was the initial knee-jerk reaction, and that could be the case. That's the simplest explanation of why Doge is being reined in. Or the legal team got involved. Like, if we want to win court cases when it comes to what President Trump wants to do, what Doge wants to do, what Elon Musk wants to do, we've got to change our strategy. We've got to head off these legal challenges. And no longer will it be Musk in charge of laying off. It will be Kash Patel. It will be Doug Collins. It will be Linda McMahon, who we heard from this morning. Big topic yesterday. President Trump wanting to, quote, dismantle the Department of Education. Linda McMahon heading up the DOE on Fox News this morning.
Do we need this department?
No, we don't.
What about your employees, 4,100 employees? What are they saying? I'm sure they're fearful they're going to lose their jobs.
Well, I think anytime there's talk about shutting a department down, the employees that are there are concerned about their jobs, but they're good off-ramps for them. And in a country where we right now have over 8 million openings in jobs, I think there'd be a lot of places for them to go. We'd like to help them get there.
I just want to play the beginning of that again. This was, I mean, this is what President Trump appointed her for.
Do we need this department?
No.
Do we need the Department of Education? No. Not a hesitation, nothing. More from Linda McMahon, head of the DOE on Fox News this morning.
I think we will see scores go up. Our nation's report card, which is called NAEP, which came out the end of January, is what showed how far down. Since the Department of Education was established in 1980, we've spent over $1 trillion to see our scores continue to go down. We are not doing something right, and it's time to change it.
Would it affect the teachers if there's no more Department of Education?
I don't know. Teachers will be there in the classrooms. They're hired locally. They are supervised on a local basis. The Department of Education doesn't have anything to do, with hiring teachers. That's all done at a local level.
That's what I said yesterday. I think at the end of the day, I mean, listen, that's a big headline, the dismantling of the Department of Education. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be that agency that is impacted, not so much in school, in class learning. I think the funding will still be there. I'm still waiting to get confirmation on that. The $4.4 billion that Georgia gets from the federal government through the Department of Education, I think that $4.4 billion will still be allocated to the Peach State, but it will be up to each local jurisdiction to determine how those billions are spent. So I don't think we're going to suffer a funding problem. I think there might be some curriculum issues down the line, but I think big picture, the dismantling of the DOE, and this is coming from the husband of an educator, the son of two educators, I think that the funding will still be there. I've been wrong before, though. And I will be the first to admit if I'm wrong on this. But again, Linda McMahon this morning on Fox News. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 2 minutes. When we come back live to Rome, Italy, updating the Pope's health. He released a recorded message. What did the Pope say? That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
And good morning. It is 9:30. I am Graham Carroll. Our top story, the opening bell is happening right now as the Friday markets open. Though the futures were down this morning, some good economic news could have an effect. New data released this morning by the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the U.S. economy added 151,000 jobs last month, and that is an increase from January's revised gains of 125,000 jobs. But correspondent Jill Schlesinger says there are still some concerns.
At the beginning of the year, economists were projecting that the labor market would slow down this year to maybe 150,000 jobs per month. But with the tariff situation escalating and many companies sitting on their plans to hire, there is a concern that we could start to see the labor market deteriorate.
And these newly announced numbers also do not reflect recent announced layoffs in the federal workforce by the Trump administration. Well, it was a very late night at the state capitol as lawmakers wrapped up the crossover day, a crucial day of votes on dozens of bills during this legislative session.
It was a marathon crossover day under the Gold Dome as lawmakers pass a flurry of bills, the House even setting a crossover day record with 75 bills getting to the floor for votes. Both chambers were hard at work with legislation on school safety moving forward in the Senate. Lawmakers there passing a bill to require panic buttons to be installed in Georgia classrooms. In the House, lawmakers advanced legislation to speed up a planned income tax cut and give taxpayers one-time rebates of up to $500 to anticipated bills that weren't voted on, sports betting, and a bill on DEI in schools. Sponsors of those bills vowing to keep pushing. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Next hour, we will hear from Jonesboro Mayor Danya Sator as she holds a press conference to explain her decision to walk back yesterday's announced resignation. Sartor has been serving as the first black mayor of Jonesboro since 2023. In the interim, there have been many tense exchanges, allegations of racial bias, and general discord between Sartor and other city leaders.
We got some conflicts of interest and conflicts of personalities.
Still, Council Member Billy Powell says Sartor's resignation caught everyone off guard. WSB Radio will be at the press conference to learn more about her change of heart. U.S. and Ukrainian officials are reportedly planning to hold peace talks in Saudi Arabia next week. Special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, says representatives of both countries will work to create a framework for an initial ceasefire and a peace agreement with Russia. It follows a heated exchange between President Trump and Zelensky in the Oval Office last week. Following the exchange, Trump halted military assistance to Ukraine and cut off intelligence sharing. Well, SpaceX has suffered another setback as its Starship rocket explodes in midair. Flight commentator Dan Huot says engines on the spacecraft started shutting down as it streaked east, causing it to go into an out-of-control spin.
Can confirm we did lose contact with the ship. Unfortunately, this happened last time, too, so we've got some practice at this now.
During SpaceX's last test flight in January, the Starship rocket also exploded about 8 minutes after takeoff. It is 9:33. It is time to check traffic and weather together. Mike Shields live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
A Graham travel advisory continues in Marietta with a crash 75 northbound just before Canton Road, Highway 5, exit 267. Live look at the jam cam. Marietta Fire, police, all with this crash. Two left lanes are blocked, and you're slow already back before South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. You can avoid that exit off of Delk Road, go to west of Cobb Parkway northbound as an alternate around that. And new trouble now in Gwinnett County, 85 southbound right at Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. Looks like the second left lane blocked by the crash delays leaving Pleasant Hill Road. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, mild with a high of 66. Lows tonight in the low 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 70. Sunday, cloudy with off and on rain showers, morning low 49, afternoon high 57.
It is currently 47 degrees in Stockbridge, 44 degrees in Ackworth, and 47 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
It should go without saying that I abhor violence.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I just don't feel like other people that I don't know need to know how I feel about things.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Agradezco de todo corazón las oraciones.
Hearing from the Pope for the first time in a long time as he battles multiple health issues. The latest on the Pope's condition. We go live to Rome, Italy in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
Are you already feeling overwhelmed with your long list of places to clean in your home? Well, get your spring cleaning done now so you can enjoy the warm weather ahead of us. And let Zero Res do the work for you. Hey, it's Chris Chandler, and Zero Res is the only one I trust to keep my home insanely clean. Zero Res doesn't use harsh chemicals, just their patented ZR water technology that gets your carpets actually clean. No residue, no sticky mess, just fresh, spotless carpets. And right now, they're making it easy to give your home a spring refresh with their spring cleaning sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. But wait, when you mention me, Chris Chandler, they'll clean your hallway for free. That is right, for free. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129 and a free hallway cleaning. Just tell them I sent you. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. That's ZeroResAtlanta.com. ZeroResAtlanta.com.
Ready to transform your outdoor living space? Welcome to SPF Screens and Awnings, the experts in outdoor screen and shade products proudly serving Atlanta. At SPF, we tailor solutions just for you. With our custom-built screens and awnings, you choose the material, color, and design to match your style. Looking for comfort and privacy? Our motorized screens keep the bugs and sun out while allowing the breeze in with the click of a button. With SPF, our seamless turnaround means you'll have your products in just a few weeks. And with our 5-year warranty on hurricane screens and 10-year warranty on screens and awnings, you know you're investing in quality that lasts. We even offer flexible financing. Elevate your outdoor area today. Transform your outdoor living with SPF Screens and Awnings, where comfort meets style. For a limited time, enjoy $250 off our motorized awnings and screens. Purchase any awning and receive a free LED light upgrade to enhance your outdoor experience with a perfect ambiance day or night. Visit sunprotection.com to schedule your free consultation. That's sunprotection.com.
9:37 on this fantastic Friday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till 30 minutes from now. We're going to talk to the Georgia lawmaker that put forth that sports gambling bill under the Gold Dome. Spoiler alert, it did not make it through crossover day, but he is going to join us live. Right now, though, we go live to Rome, Italy. Joining us from CBS Radio News, Sabrina Castellafranco. Buongiorno, come stai?
Very well, grazie, molto bene.
Molto bene. I'm going to switch over to English now. Actually, I'm going to switch over to Spanish, if you don't mind, Sabina. I want to play the audio message that the Pope released.
Agradezco de todo corazón las oraciones que hacen por mi salud.
So that was the Pope speaking in Spanish to his followers around the world. What was that? What did he say in that message?
Well, he was thanking the faithful for praying for him. It's very, very difficult to understand him. I speak Spanish fluently. I was born in Buenos Aires like the Pope. And it was very, very hard to try to understand exactly what the words were, particularly for the people in St. Peter's Square. Now, I had, his message in typewritten form, and so, I was able to follow it. But it was very, very brief and very, very difficult for anybody to understand exactly what he was saying. Now, he is very, very weak after these 3 weeks in the hospital. Of course, he's had a number of setbacks, but we are told that he had a very good night's sleep and rest and woke up this morning after 8 a.m., and he is undergoing respiratory and physical therapy. He's still receiving high flows of supplemental oxygen through a nasal tube during the day. And then, of course, he's on a machine during the night to make sure that, his lungs expand enough. So he is being treated both during the day and during the night with this non-invasive mechanical mask. But of course, the prognosis remains guarded by the doctors. So we really have no idea how long he will remain in the hospital. And of course, this is the longest period of time that he has been in the hospital since he became Pope 12 years ago.
Sabina, I understand it was difficult to understand the audio message, but isn't it a good sign that at least for that day he was well enough to record an audio message?
Absolutely. And the fact is that, he probably decided to do it in his native tongue because it was easier for him. So it is something, and of course it's put to rest many voices that have said, we haven't seen the Pope, we haven't heard the Pope for 3 weeks now. I mean, do we even know that he's really alive? There's all sorts of stuff going around, particularly on social media. So yes, I mean, we've had a few days of the Pope just resting and doing some work and not having any breathing crisis. I mean, the last breathing crisis he had was on Monday, so we can say he's been fine for 4 days. The doctors have also said they would not be providing a medical update tonight. At the moment, they have been giving a medical update both morning and evening, but they feel it's unnecessary to give a medical bulletin twice a day, and so we're not expecting another medical update until tomorrow.
Reporter Sabina Castelfranco joining us in Rome, Italy, not Georgia, live on the Mark Arum Show. Ash Wednesday, just a couple of days ago. What was it like at the Vatican with the Pope indisposed? How did Ash Wednesday go?
Well, I mean, it was dealt with by a cardinal, as other masses have been dealt with by other cardinals since the Pope has been taken to the hospital. The Pope himself received ashes, on the 10th floor of the hospital where he is undergoing his treatment and where he has been living effectively for the past 3 weeks. Yes, the Vatican is a place of serious prayer at the moment. The faithful praying for the Pope to get better. Many very hopeful that he will return to the Vatican. But it has been a long time. 3 weeks is a long time by any standards for an 88-year-old man to be kept inside a hospital, and many start to wonder whether he in fact is going to be returning to the Vatican or whether we are going to see him in fact decide to resign. That is a question in many people's minds, just like the previous Pope did, Pope Benedict. Pope Francis has said in the past that if he felt that he could no longer carry out his duties for the Catholic Church, that resignation was certainly a possibility.
Well, that's what I thought, too. That I brought that up, and I was kind of slapped down when I said, is there a possibility that the Pope could realize, I'm just not well enough to do this job? But no one seemed to think that resignation was a possibility. Unbelievable story. Sabina, thank you so much for your time. Grazie mille.
Non c'è problema, anytime.
Thank you so much, Sabina.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sabina Castelfranco in Rome, Italy. All right. I mean, it's a good sign that the Pope recorded that message, but obviously it was tough if Sabina couldn't translate it. Certainly Longoria couldn't. Deborah probably could, but we're not going to ask her. But by the way, did you went on to get your ash on Wednesday?
I did. I went to Mass. Yeah.
I knew Deborah did, right? You absolutely went and got it. I was questioning whether Longoria did. All right. Obviously a very solemn Lenten period, but also an exciting period for non-believers like me because it is fish sandwich season at the fast food restaurants. Latest entry, it comes from the king of burgers, Deborah Green.
Yeah, I didn't even know Burger King had fish sandwiches. I'm not well versed in the fast food world, but now through Easter, right, April 20th, that's Easter. Now through Easter, if you're part of the Royal Perks member for Burger King, you can get a BOGO deal on $2 fish sandwiches. How about that?
All right, I need clarification. Is it the big fish sandwich? You remember they introduced the big fish, or is this the regular fish sandwich?
This is 2 big fish sandwiches. That's what it says, big fish sandwiches.
All right, that's a good
I
deal.
know where I'm going to lunch
You got to
today.
you got to download the app,
Yeah,
which I already
doing
have.
it, yeah.
I know Longoria's got it as well. But
Yeah.
all right, so now through April 20th, that's Easter Longoria. It's BOGO or $2. I forgot what you said.
BOGO.
BOGO. Buy one,
BOGO
get
$2 fish sandwiches.
Oh my God, what a deal! And pray for the Pope as you're enjoying the BOGO big fish sandwiches. I think it's a positive sign that he recorded a message, and we wish him absolutely the best. All right, still to come, 10:05. The Georgia lawmaker that introduced the bill to legalize sports gambling is going to join us live. We will give you a complete crossover day recap underneath the Gold Dome, and obviously a lot of movement in the Russia-Ukraine war. We'll go to the State Department, talk to Shannon Kingston. So much more to come on the Mark Arum Show.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It won't be that long before school gets out. And if you're thinking about buying a new home this summer, now is the time to get the ball rolling. This is Scott Slade. My friends at Myland always recommend getting pre-approved before starting to shop for your next home. Make sure you know how much you can afford and have your financing ready to make an offer when you find your dream home. Myland is who I recommend for all home financing needs, whether it's a second mortgage, cash out refinance, or purchase of a new home. They even have a great new product that allows you to qualify for an investment or rental property without personal income documents. Whatever type of mortgage you need, Myland will close your loan fast without issues and headaches and make sure you have the best rate in town. Call Myland. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage Licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
At Shane Company, we'll help you create a ring as unique as your love story. We have the biggest selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and center stones in an array of colors, including sapphires in blue, pink, green, lavender, and more. Just the other day, a couple picked out a blue sapphire that perfectly matched her eyes, and they left knowing her ring was truly one of a kind. That's what happens at Shane Company. Come check us out. You might just fall in love with something unexpected. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Just like one's taste in music, every home is unique. That's why Mama Bear and I chose Scana Energies, our natural gas provider. They have options to fit your home's needs. But since you're busy, I'll help you find the right music for now. Maybe rock and roll. Or something more serene. Oh, yeah. Sign up with Scana today and save up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/warm for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. When you have plumbing problems, you need it done quickly and on your schedule. Superior Plumbing will work around your schedule night and day. They've served Atlanta for almost 40 years. They want to be your plumber for life, and they'll earn your trust by doing the work correctly the first time. So do what I did and call Superior Plumbing night or day to have a trusted plumber fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
9:49 on the Mark Arum Show. Oh no, traffic red alert. Live to the traffic center, Mike Shields.
Yeah, Mark, just saw this just about 10 minutes ago where Clayton County Police have shut down all lanes now on I-75 southbound right at Highway 54, Jonesboro Road, exit 233. Already jammed 2 miles back to Terra Boulevard, exit 235. Now, you can exit off there, go south, and work your way into Jonesboro and beyond to avoid the delays tomorrow, or just use I-675 as a way around it. But right now, all lanes shut down, 75 southbound Highway 54, exit 233. And Morrow, use 1941 Terra Boulevard or I-675 as alternates. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Traffic team never rests. You know who else never rests? These freaking scammers. This morning already, I got 2 of those, hey, you have delinquent Peach Pass scam texts. 2 of them. I'm getting flooded with them. Speaking of scammers, there's a new really dastardly scam going on, an online scam. Correspondent Jim Ryan's going to discuss that a little bit later on the Mark Arum Show. I want to update the Russia-Ukraine talks right now, though. Joining us from ABC News at the State Department, it's Shannon Kingston. Shannon, good morning. Big meeting yesterday in Brussels, Belgium, between Ukrainian President Zelensky and European leaders. Who was there and what was discussed?
Well, Ukraine's President Zelensky has been on a tour of Europe, building support, reaffirming that these European countries are going to stand behind Ukraine. And this comes after a massive dust-up at the Oval Office just a week ago today. You and I talked about it. But really what's happening here is there's still a path towards peace that we're seeing play out. Because we saw overnight, really, these plans for a high-level meeting between U.S. officials and Ukraine to come together in Saudi Arabia and talk about what a potential ceasefire might look like. And this is after a coordinated campaign by Ukrainian officials aimed at convincing President Trump that, yes, in fact, Ukraine does want to see an end to the conflict. But there's still a lot of tension playing out between the U.S., especially after the Trump administration made the decision to cut off intelligence sharing with Ukraine, and the war still very much raging. We saw massive attacks overnight from Russia on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. We're talking hundreds of missiles and drones launched at Kyiv.
So many follow-up questions. We'll start with this, Shannon. Why the meeting in Saudi Arabia? They just don't want a repeat of what we saw a week ago in the Oval Office?
That's a great question. Certainly they don't want to see a repeat of that. But having the meeting in Saudi Arabia is pretty telling. And Ukraine has been a very close partner with the U.S. for many years, and there are a lot of places that this could be hosted. Clearly they're choosing to use the same kind of format as they did a couple weeks ago when high-level U.S. officials met with Russian officials. So this is sending a message to Kyiv that, hey, we're treating you guys both as the same kind of entity, which, of course, is not the kind of treatment that Kyiv has had over the past couple of years, and certainly not under the Biden administration.
Shannon Kingston, ABC News at the State Department, joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. The White House, you mentioned, had that open-ended pause on all military aid and intelligence sharing. Obviously, the Trump administration trying to use all their cards, as President Trump says, to try to get Ukraine back to the table. What was the European reaction to that pause on military aid and intelligence sharing?
Well, a lot of European leaders did things that President Trump would want to see. They announced that they were going to increase their own defense spending, something the president has often pushed them to do to fulfill and even surpass their NATO obligations. A lot of them also announced additional support for Ukraine. They say this is not so much to continue fighting the war, because many European leaders are signaling that they're now ready to get to the point where this conflict comes to an end. But they want Ukraine to have the strongest possible hand at the negotiating table, and they say that depends on having a steady supply of military equipment coming their way.
All right, so we have this meeting that we think will hopefully go down in Saudi Arabia between the Ukrainian officials and the U.S. officials. At what point do the Russian officials get involved, and will we ever see Russians and Ukrainians sitting at the negotiating table together?
That's certainly certainly the hope of the Trump administration that these sides come together for direct talks and that they do it soon, but it does appear we're still a far way off. There's been no public indication, at least, that Russia is ready to accept a ceasefire, to accept the kind of security guarantees that would likely have to go into effect for any kind of peace to be sustainable. So it does appear that these sides are still very far apart, both physically because they're not coming together at the same table, but also on what they want to see in the weeks, months, and years ahead.
Final quick question, Shannon. Rare earth minerals deal, is that still a possibility between the U.S. and Ukraine?
It's certainly still top of mind for the president. And actually yesterday we saw a kind of a remarkable statement from the president's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia. He said the decision to cut off intelligence sharing was directly attributed to what he said was President Zelensky's failure pushing off to sign that rare mineral agreement with the U.S. Now, since then, since that Oval Office meeting, Zelensky has said, yes, he is ready to move ahead with that. But President Trump has kind of wavered a bit now. He wants to get better terms for the U.S., likely so he can argue that this is a political win, but it's just injected a whole lot of new uncertainty into the process.
Shannon Kingston, ABC News at the State Department. Shannon, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Speaking of the weekend, we will update the Ukraine peace talks throughout the weekend here on 95.5 WSB. Now to a local story that involves two of my favorite things: Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, and local law enforcement. Big-time listeners to the Mark Arum Show. Not a great story, though, Deborah Green. What can you tell us?
No, this is not. So a security guard that worked at Publix found a way to scam the system very well. What he would do is he would pretend to buy items. He'd go to the self-checkout and he would kind of fake scan it, and then another employee there would just void everything. But he would go through the whole motion so that the camera looked like he was actually paying everything, and he managed to scam a ton of items from Publix, several $100s worth, and finally he was caught.
Now, was this a security guard or was this an off-duty police officer that was working like a side gig?
He was a police officer, but he was also worked there as well. So I think there's additional security at a lot of those, a lot of the shopping centers.
Sure.
So that was like a second job for him.
All right, so what's the end result? I mean, obviously fired, facing charges, let go. I mean, do we have an update on the officer's future?
It does. Does it say if he's fired? He is charged with several things. Does it say? It doesn't say if he was officially fired at all. But yeah, he's charged for several things.
All right. This was the Glenwood Avenue Publix near the East Lake area. $800 in groceries he stole from that store. Charged with one felony count of violating his oath of public office and another felony count of shoplifting. $800. That's like 2 cartons of eggs. That's crazy. That's crazy. He got away with. Yeah, you can't do that, man. Listen, I'll tell you right now. This would never happen. But if I was the security guard at Publix, I'm not stealing anything, but I'm going to the deli and be like, "Come on, hook me up with the ultimate sub. I'm not paying for that."
Yeah, extra meat or
something.
something.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not trying to, pump fake on the self checkout $800 worth. I'm gonna be like, hey, to the fishmonger, let me get that little seafood shrimp cocktail ring. Put it on the house. I'm not lying. I would do that, yes, but I'm not stealing $800. All right, thanks, Deborah. All right, quick break. When we come back, big local story. Crossover day came and went. Did not pass the sports betting bill. Didn't even get a vote on it. The author of said bill, Marcus Wiedauer, he joins us live with in-depth coverage and details of that failed bill. That's next, live on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, this is Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. The plastic surgeons and estheticians at Marietta Plastic Surgery have been taking care of my needs for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have served Atlanta for over 25 years, providing both surgical and non-surgical treatments. They're recognized for their commitment to patient care and satisfaction, and were featured in the Atlantan magazine list of top doctors. The temperature's starting to to rise and summer's just around the corner. Are you ready for the pool, lake, or beach? Whether you're considering enhancements for your face, body, or breast, their experts are here to guide you. Marietta Plastic Surgery offers a range of med spa treatments which provide youthful, glowing skin, including Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8. Contact them today for a consultation. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. News brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top local story, we've got a red alert on I-75 South in Clayton County. Let's go straight to Andrew Seco in the 24-hour traffic center.
Yeah, looking at police activity shutting things down completely. Austin, I-75 South as you get past Jonesboro Road. Seeing those delays already back past Terra Boulevard. No estimated clearing time here. We'll keep you updated. You're going to want to avoid the area here through Morrow. You want to hop on Highway 4223, 4154, or you can use I-675 as a fast track. Austin?
Thanks, Andrew. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. Our other story happening now, Jonesboro Mayor Donya Sarter is set to address the media after announcing she's stepping down from her role, then quickly reversing that decision.
Her initial announcement of plans to step down caught everyone off guard, including Councilmember Billy Powell.
We had executive session, and she announced that she was resigning. In open session, she read her resignation.
But just a few hours later, Sartor reverses course and says she will remain on the job and says the city charter outlines specific procedures for a resignation to take effect, and those have not occurred. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
She's expected to explain that announcement in a press conference happening right now. We'll bring you more info as it happens right here on 95.5 WSB. It's 47 degrees right now in Midtown. A few clouds around today, but a great day to get outside. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecasts coming up. An underwater search expert from Wisconsin arrives at Lake Oconee today to aid in the search for Westminster School's teacher Gary Jones, who went missing nearly a month ago while boating there. Keith Cormican runs the nonprofit Bruce's Legacy and has helped recover the bodies of a number of drowning victims across the country.
Have been pretty successful coming in after all these departments have tried things, and you know we're definitely not. We don't find them all. Never have, never will. But we definitely find a good share of them.
Cormican says he hopes to perform that search over a 2-day period. Today is the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, and the foundation named for late Georgia Congressman John Lewis installs new memorials at the site.
2 plaques now at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge go beyond the most famous faces of Bloody Sunday, telling the voting rights journey starting in 1918.
We're talking about the people who had meetings, the churches brave enough to host mass meetings, the young people who did the Children's March, and students who walked out of classes to stand up for their rights. And we're talking about the local entrepreneurs who supported and funded the work.
Deetra Everson, president of the John and Lillian Myers Lewis Foundation, hopes the plaques educate, then empower people
to get involved, roll up their sleeves, and help make their communities better.
Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
A Georgia Southern football player from Metro Atlanta is dead after a battle with cancer. In a social media statement, the team says, quote, Tay McKibbins was taken away from us far too young, but his memory will always be etched on our hearts. McKibbins was a graduate of Cass High School that is in Bartow County. Well, we could learn more today on the investigation into the death of a beloved actor and his wife.
We're hoping to finally get some answers today to this mystery more than a week after Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa and one of their dogs were all found dead in their Santa Fe home. This afternoon, we're expecting an update from law enforcement alongside state medical investigators and the Department of Health.
Trevor Ault reports officials call their deaths suspicious, but they say there are no signs of foul play. U.S. employers add 151,000 jobs last month. The Labor Department reports hiring was up from a revised 125,000 in January. The unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.1%, and the job market has been resilient over the past year, all despite high interest rates. It is 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first we've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Andrew Seco is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Red alert still active through Morrow. All lanes blocked with police activity. 75 south at Jonesboro Road, exit 233 here. Delays all the way back past Terra Boulevard. Things looking really tough. No estimated clearing time. Avoid the area. Take Highway 41, 54, Highway 42, 23, or you can use 675 as a quick fast track here. And we're starting to improve out of Marietta. Earlier trouble gone by the wayside. 75 northbound approaching Highway 5, exit 267. Brake lights may take a couple minutes to thin out. So if you're in a hurry, you may want to hop on Highway 41. Save you a little bit of time. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, mild with a high of 66, lows tonight in the low 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 70. Sunday, cloudy with off and on rain showers, morning low 49, afternoon high 57.
Right now it's 48 degrees in Sandy Springs, 48 in College Park, and 47 in Midtown. More news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show on a good Friday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole gang with us today. Deborah Green, the executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Lil Gnocchi screens them calls. Coming up next half hour, good news in the mortgage market. We're going to check in with Bloomberg News. Mortgage rates posted the biggest weekly drop since mid-September. Speaking of the markets, Dow up, S&P up, NASDAQ up. So maybe investors kind of calming down post-tariff news. We'll continue to watch the markets throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. But let's kick off our coverage of Crossover Day. Wrapped up last night or early this morning under the Gold Dome. I'm not so sure. Joining us live from the Georgia House of Representatives, the Honorable Marcus Wiedauer. Representative, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Mark. Appreciate you having me.
My pleasure, representing District 119. What time last night or this morning did Crossover Day wrap up?
We bumped up right up to the midnight hour. Probably not quite there, but pretty dang close.
Gotcha. And we're throughout the day we're gonna break down what didn't happen and what did happen at Crossover Day. But as loyal listeners of the show know, I've been a big proponent of sports betting in Georgia, casinos in Georgia for my entire 27-year career here at WSB Radio. You were the lawmaker that proposed the bill this go around. What happened and what didn't happen?
Well, Mark, I introduced a constitutional amendment to put a question on the ballot to let Georgians decide if they wanted to legalize online mobile sports betting only. I know you're a fan of casinos, but this didn't include that in the measure. But, we made it out of committee Wednesday, made it to the rules calendar, never ended up coming to the floor for a vote. And super disappointing. On my end of things, of course, I've long said that, with this industry and how it's being utilized right now by countless Georgians, there's zero regulations for it. There's zero checks and balances. We're not bringing in any tax dollars on this activity. People are circumventing a process with VPNs, or they're crossing state lines to utilize the platforms, or they're using an illegal market. And all I'm really have been set out to do is put that framework in place so that, the consumers that are utilizing, sports betting online, that they have protections in place, that we're regulating them appropriately, and, putting safeguards on it. And I think for some folks, whether they're, I think it's a little bit all over the map, Mark. I think there are some people that would have rather see casinos in it, so there's a little dissension there, right? There's people that never want to see another thing that has anything to do with gambling ever again. So, and kind of everything in between. And when there's not a consensus, you need 120 votes to get a constitutional amendment approved. It seems as though they didn't feel like they had it and never called it for a vote.
So I've got a couple of follow-up questions. So, again, you just wanted to propose this amendment to change the Constitution to allow Georgians to just vote, right? Just give us the opportunity to say yay or nay. We do want to legalize online sports betting. That's what the initial proposal was.
That's correct. Just simply put the question on the ballot. And
it didn't get out of committee. Now, I don't want to get too into the weeds, but how does that not get out of committee?
Well, we got out of committee. It actually went through higher ed because the money was going to go directly to Hope Pre-K. Education is pretty much the only thing we can universally generally rally behind, right? And not have everybody kind of peeling things off. So the money was going directly to education. And so it went through higher ed. We got it out of the higher ed. It goes on to the rules committee. They pulled it out of rules and onto the calendar. It was up to be able to be called on the House floor. Again, I think that there was on both sides of the aisle some dissension on, were there going to be enough votes to get it passed?
Interesting. Now, you mentioned education, Hope, tying it to education. How much money, hypothetically, would we be talking about if this did come to fruition?
I mean, you're looking at $200 million.
Wow.
And those are big dollars. Those are big dollars to be able to go to programs that really need the fund.
Representative Marcus Wiedauer joining us live on the Mark Arum Show after crossover day. Representative trying to get legalized sports betting here in Georgia. We are now quickly becoming on an island on this. Do we know how many states have already passed the legalization of online sports betting?
Yeah, there are 39 states that have already passed it. And I'll tell you, what makes it even more frustrating that Georgia is on that island, right? We've done we're a great state to do business, right? We've heard it for 11 years running. We've got an incredible market. We've got incredible facilities. We attract FIFA World Cup. We attract the Super Bowl. We attract the Final Four. We just had the national championship game here. People see Georgia and Atlanta as a sports, capital, right? And the fact that people are going to come here for FIFA World Cup, they're going to want to place a wager on their game. They're going to be just as frustrated as the people that showed up here for the national championship game. And it just gives us an opportunity to showcase that. And unfortunately, we are going to be on that island.
And listen, things are different nationally now than they were in the year 2000. We'll go back 25 years, right, where it was all online, was all illegal. But times change and people change and states have made the change and 39 have already legalized this. Is it just a matter of time, do you think? I heard a quote this morning on the morning news that we're getting closer to pushing the ball over the goal line, pardon the pun.
I really felt that way this year, Mark. I mean, I feel like, I've spent a lot of time with individual members, every member of my caucus and probably half of the Democratic caucus, one-on-one, making sure people understood what was really going on and how unfortunate it is that we are not regulating the industry. It's an industry that gives no safeguards right now to anybody. I mean, people can run up a credit card, right? And they can just never get paid out by their illegal platform. There's no regulatory cover here for the consumers that are participating in this on every day.
What I've noticed that this cycle under the Gold Dome was different than years past is I was inundated with, I guess you'd call them ads on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, from I would assume lobbyists saying, showing us statistics like how many Georgians go to Tennessee to place these bets, or North Carolina or Alabama. Did you see a push by lobbyists stronger this go around than in previous years?
Well, the Sports Betting Alliance is a group that obviously, that is comprised of a bunch of different people. They definitely, kind of pushed their cards in. I think they did that because there was the sense that we really had momentum with people understanding, the intent and the need for this. It's honestly at this point, I think people are making a bigger deal out of it. I think we're compounding the problem by continuing to leave it on an illegal market. And there's several op-eds out there that have done a great job. Bethany Ballard wrote one that is just, it's to the point, right? These are, without legalizing it, we're just feeding, we're letting these people get fed to the wolves. And
go ahead. I'm sorry, Representative.
No, I just, I think that it's the right thing to do. It is not, and everything I talk about, right? This is not to promote more gambling. Okay. This is to safeguard the people that already are, because they already are. And we're just trying to put this on a legal market where we can regulate it again and bring in some tax dollars that are leaving this state. They're going to Tennessee, they're going to Florida, they're going to North Carolina because people are utilizing technology to get around geofencing. So those tax dollars are literally going to other states because we simply won't legalize it. And again, all we were trying to do is put a question on the ballot. Do Georgians really want this or not?
And correct me if I'm wrong, the pro sports teams in Atlanta are behind this, right? Like the Braves want this to happen. The Falcons, the Hawks, they want this to happen. Do they have enough political capital to move the needle at all?
I mean, they're definitely behind it, and they've been very supportive of them, and I think that they've certainly weighed in and have been good partners in this, and I appreciate all they've done as well. I really, honestly, am somewhat perplexed on how we can't get there. So, as far as their political power, I don't know what to say to that other than I think we've all kind of weighed in various ways and just seemingly can't get there.
All right, one step closer, we hope. Representative Marcus Wiedauer, I think I mistakenly put you in District 119. You're now in 121, is that correct?
Yeah, redistricting occurred, so everything got renumbered. But yes, 121 out in Watkinsville, Georgia.
All right. Hey, I really appreciate you jumping on after a long night last night. Please, if you ever need my help moving forward on this, I'm happy to help you push this across the goal line.
Mark, I appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend.
You as well, sir. Representative Marcus Wiedauer didn't just let us vote on it. Let us vote on it. That's all I'm asking. And if Georgians say no, then they say no. 39 states have said yes, however. Social media is active at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Right back, updating our top local stories next on 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB radio app, then you saw the breaking news. Get the WSB radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
Time changes, season changes. March is a busy month. Dave Baker here for Coolray. Now is the perfect time to get your heating and cooling system tuned up. Coolray will tune up your system for just $79 or get up to $2,250 in rebates on a new Carrier heating and cooling system that comes with the lifetime parts and labor warranty. Simply schedule your appointment online today at Coolray.com. Just pick the time and day that works best for you. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. information. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000. Or visit us at TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
All foundations are created equal, and neither are foundation repair methods. That is why you should always turn to Atlanta Ramjack for your foundation repair. Mark Beckham here, and we have carefully designed our foundation repair methods over the years, currently holding 12 different patents for our solutions. So if you see cracks in your brick or floor, or if a door doesn't shut properly, or your windows stick, this can all spell foundation trouble. Visit AtlantaRamjack.com for your free estimate and peace of mind.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, Seasons Garages.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
10:21 on the Mark Arum Show. Still massive South Side delays. Live with the latest, Andrew Seco.
Well, it looked like we had better news for a second there, Mark, but as we are looking, we are back in that left lane. All lanes being held once again with police activity. 75 south at Jonesboro Road, exit 233. Delays back several miles. Avoid the area. Take Highway 4223, 1941, or I-675. The sports sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Stock up your fridge at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off Chobani yogurt, creamer, and plant-based milk with Prime through March 11th. While supplies last, shop and store online. Terms apply. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
Mentioned at the top of the show, Longoria turns 48 years old tomorrow. Today, though, actress Jenna Fisher turns 51 years old. I'm the same age as Jenna Fisher. She looks a lot better than I do. She, of course, is best known as Pam Beasley in the NBC sitcom The Office. 51 years old for Pam.
Michael Scott's Thunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Rabies Awareness Fun Run Race for the Cure.
I still love that show. I used to watch it to go to sleep at night, but then it popped off of Netflix. I probably haven't seen an episode of The Office in a long time. A couple other birthdays. Michael Harris from your Atlanta Braves turns 24 years old today. And Wanda Sykes turns 61.
Evan, what happened? Did you fall in a mine shaft?
No.
Did you just come out of a coma?
No.
Were you attacked by a werewolf?
That was Evan Almighty. I think I've interviewed Wanda Sykes before on the show. I
believe so, too.
I believe very, very, very funny. And hopefully my wife is not listening, but one of my favorite crushes of all time, Rachel Weisz. She turns 55 today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so hungry. I'll eat it right away.
That's her in The Lobster. She was in The Mummy.
Yeah.
And she's married to James Bond now. I mean, I lost my chance. Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the.
Yeah,
that was the
I lost my chance, but she's 55. So happy birthday, everybody. And again, a happy early birthday to Mr. Longoria, who tomorrow celebrates his 48th year on the planet. And we have breakfast served. The flapjacks are delicious. They were absolutely delicious. Quick update on tariffs. The U.S. trade war with Canada and Mexico partially off, but the head of one of Canada's most economically important provinces says it's not enough to avoid economic retaliation that will impact Americans.
Doug Ford is Premier of Ontario, the economic and population center of Canada. The province feeds electricity to Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. He says he's slapping a 25% tariff on that power starting Monday until Trump calls off the tariff war for good.
That's the last thing I want to do. But he has to understand that he can't attack our country economically and expect us to roll over.
And to the American homeowner in Minnesota or New York or somewhere else that gets its power from electricity,
yes,
they're going to see the electric bill in a month and they're going to realize, whoa,
yes,
a lot more expensive than it was.
And there's one person to be blamed, and that's President Trump. And I sincerely apologize to the American people.
Now, again, we've got a month-long pause till the beginning of April on most of these tariffs, which I think has settled down Wall Street investors a little bit. All the indices are up this morning. Not a lot, but the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are all up. For you crypto bros out there and ladies, oh, wow. Bitcoin up $1,400, back over $90,000. Early birthday surprise for our very own crypto bro, Andrew Longoria. We'll continue to monitor the markets and what's going on with the tariffs. This is a crazy story. You know how much I love the space exploration. Not a good situation with SpaceX yesterday. Second disappointment this year for Musk's SpaceX Starship program, described as a rapid, unscheduled disassembly and a setback two for space exploration. Our buddy Mark Strassman from CBS.
It was the 8th test flight of the world's largest and most powerful rocket, but it didn't fly far after lifting off from Boca Chica, Texas. It did fly its first stage booster back into the chopstick-like arms of its launch tower as planned and seemingly perfect. But nearly 2 minutes later, a malfunction. The rocket started to spin out of control while in space.
We've lost several engines and we've lost attitude control of the vehicle.
SpaceX said the vehicle experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly and then lost contact with Starship.
Now, for now, all Starship flights are on hold while the FAA orders SpaceX to investigate. Deborah, is space? They're not the ones. Is SpaceX going to save the astronauts that have been? I'm not going to say stranded because they Butch and Sonny. But was it SpaceX that was tasked with bringing them home?
Yeah, they're the ones that are supposed to send well, not a rocket, but yeah, they're supposed to send help up there.
I don't know about that. I might stay out there a little longer. Get the ish together before. I think Mark might have mentioned it in the report there that when the rocket exploded and it like disturbed because all the pieces were falling down, like it messed up air travel. Like planes like Delta Foxtrot. November, you're going to have to take a wide berth. We got a rocket falling into the ocean. Over. Roger. Copy. Anyway, that stinks. All right, quick break after news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, another scam going on out there. This one online, and this one's really dirty. Really dirty. Correspondent Jim Ryan has the details for us next on The Mark Arum Show.
Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Ready to transform your outdoor living space? Welcome to SPF Screens and Awnings, the experts in outdoor screen and shade products proudly serving Atlanta. At SPF, we tailor solutions just for you. With our custom-built screens and awnings, you choose the material, color, and design to match your style. Looking for comfort and privacy? Our motorized screens keep the bugs and sun out while allowing the breeze in with the click of a button. With SPF, our seamless turnaround means you'll have your products in just a few weeks. And with our 5-year warranty on hurricane screens and 10-year warranty on screens and awnings, you know you're investing in quality that lasts. We even offer flexible financing. Elevate your outdoor area today. Transform your outdoor living with SPF Screens and Awnings, where comfort meets style. For a limited time, enjoy $250 off our motorized awnings and screens. Purchase any awning and receive a free LED light upgrade to enhance your outdoor experience with a perfect ambiance day or night. Visit sunprotection.com to schedule your free consultation. That's sunprotection.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar. Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top local story today marks the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. That's when hundreds of demonstrators marching for voting rights in Selma, Alabama were hit with police violence. Senator Raphael Warnock will cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge in honor of the anniversary.
And I think that we look back and we talk as if these victories were inevitable. They were quite improbable. But they kept the faith, they kept pushing.
The longtime Baptist minister will also be preaching in Selma this weekend. The state Senate approves a bill that would raise the THC level for medical cannabis.
The bill raises the legal limit from 5 to 50% and allows Georgians who qualify to vape the product. Sponsor Republican State Senator Matt Brass says this is about improving access.
And there's just so many people out there in pain. And we just want their doctors to be able to have all the tools they need to take care of their people.
The legislation also allows for the THC oil to be used before the end stage of an illness like cancer. Some oppose the measure, fearing it could be abused. It now goes to the House. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
DeKalb County Police launch an investigation after a man is found dead in the lobby of the entrance to an apartment complex on Candler Road. That's in Decatur. Responding officers arrive at that Candler Forest Apartments where they find a 28-year-old man dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Jody Bobbs, a resident of the complex.
He was always decent, very mannerable, respectful. It really hurt me to see him like that.
She tells Channel 2 Action News she saw several people being questioned by investigators. Police say there is evidence of a physical altercation prior to that shooting. Now they are hoping surveillance cameras can help them with that ongoing investigation. Newly released court documents reveal frantic text messages by the surviving roommates on the night of the 2022 Idaho College murders that could be used at trial. Attorneys for Brian Koberger want the exchanges kept out of his August trial.
For the first time, text messages between the two surviving roommates of the Idaho College murders now revealed, along with a transcript of the frantic 911 call made hours after their 4 friends were killed in that off-campus home in November of 2022. The dispatcher speaking with several people on the line. Someone telling the dispatcher one of the roommates was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Kanya Whitworth reports someone then responded saying they saw a man in their home. A rabies alert is issued by animal services workers in Forsyth County.
A resident finds an injured raccoon along Castleberry Road near the Cumming Fairgrounds and tries to crate it. In the process, the animal bit the would-be rescuer, who later tested positive for rabies. That person was treated for exposure. Now health officials are notifying anyone else who might have been exposed to the animal so they can seek medical care if necessary.
WSB's Jennifer Perry reports anyone who notices an animal acting strangely is also asked to contact animal services. It's 10:33. We've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Andrew Seco is live in the 24-hour traffic center.
And down to a gridlock alert, but things still looking really tough. 75 South Jonesboro Road, exit 233. Only a left lane open. Police activity delays all the way back towards Forest Parkway. Avoid the area. Take those alternates. Highway 1941, 4223, or you can use I-675. Seeing some delays through Buckhead down into Midtown. Roadwork in the left lane, 400 South. Ramping into 85 South, exit 1A, and seeing some delays on the southeast side. A little bit of a stoppage point as they're setting up on the right lane, I-20 eastbound at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Look for left lane blocked on the collector distributor ramps as you are leaving Panthersville. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 66, lows tonight in the low 50s. Cloudy skies tomorrow with a few light rain showers possible, high near 70. Cloudy skies on Sunday with off and on rain showers, morning lows in the upper 40s, daytime highs in the mid-50s.
Right now it's 52 degrees in Decatur, 51 in Vinings, also 51 in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I think we will see scores go up. Our nation's report card, which is called NAEP, which came
That
out
is
the end
the
of
new
January.
head of the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, this morning on Fox News. We'll update that DOGE's progress. But coming up next, a huge scam alert. Going to share it with you in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
As a trucker, I know how challenging these last 4 years have been. I'm Congressman Mike Collins, and I've been hitting the road listening to Georgians across my district. Please know that help is on the way, and follow along at collins.house.gov.
Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Collins.
Hey, this is Congressman Mike Collins. I'm fighting every day for America First policies in Washington, and I want to hear from you about how we can make our country better. Reach out at collins.house.gov and let me know.
Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Collins.
Here's a spring cleaning hack to make your life easier. Schedule an appointment with Zero-Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Their patented ZR water cleans better than detergents while leaving zero residue behind, leaving your carpet soft and fluffy. Take advantage of their spring sale going on right now. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero-Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
10:37. Happy Friday, friends. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show with you till noon. The markets just took a downward turn. Dow down 182 points. NASDAQ $129. We'll continue to monitor the markets. We saw some gains earlier with the tariff pause. This is good news, though. Mortgage rates continue to fall. Biggest weekly drop since mid-September. Coming up in about 13 minutes. We're going to check in with Bloomberg News on the dropping mortgage interest rates. But joining us on the show now, reporter Jim Ryan from ABC News. Jim, as always, thanks for your time. You know, you and I have been diligently warning Atlanta listeners about scams over the last couple of years. This latest scam, though, man, how low can these scamsters go? What devious deeds are they doing now?
Really low, Mark. I mean, that's the only way you can put it. And I've seen this one firsthand. I've seen people get this note in a Facebook Marketplace, sometimes Craigslist, eBay, wherever people are selling and buying things, Mark. That's where this one's going to pop up. It starts like this, the posting that says, "My father recently passed away, and I have some items that I'm trying to sell. I've got a camera, I've got some furniture, I've got this, that, to try to sell, even a car." And so I saw a Ford F-150 posted there, pictures of the vehicle, and they were asking like $7,000 for this beautiful, fairly new pickup truck. That's one tip-off, right? A horrifically low price for something that looks pretty good. Well, turns out that once you pay your money, or this person will then ask you perhaps for a deposit on the item before you can pick it up, well, the money is gone, essentially. Either the deposit or the money that you paid for this item, it's gone because this is a complete scam. Your Facebook friends page has been hijacked by scammers who are using it then to post this note about their recently deceased father or a relative who's going into assisted living or something, and they've got these items. It's a pretty convincing setup, and people are falling for it, Mark.
Wow. Well, I guess the old adage, though, Jim, if it's too good to be true, it's not. You know, getting a brand new pickup truck for $7,000. Yeah. All of this occurring on Facebook. Is that how I heard it?
Well, Facebook or eBay or Craigslist, you know, if there are places that people are selling things, then that's a good opportunity for scammers to swoop in and try to take your money. And you make a good point. And in the same way that scammers are using this technology against us, the honest people, we can use the technology to kind of thwart these things. So you see the picture of the pickup, and this is what the person I know did, this beautiful F-150 pickup truck. They thought, wait a minute, that picture looks awfully professional. So you do a Google search on that image, and sure enough, it had popped up. It came from a car ad somewhere else, that exact picture. So you can use the technology, you know, right-click on it and see where that picture came from. And if it came from somewhere else, then this is probably a scam on a spoofed Facebook page.
Jim Ryan from ABC joining us on the Mark Arum Show. You know, the fact that they're scanning obituaries, right? That actually might let, you know, if they say, hey, my dad, you know, Joe Smith died and blah, blah, blah in Beaufort, Georgia, and we're going to sell his stuff. Someone might be able to, you know, Google search the obituary for Joe Smith of Beaufort, and it pops up like, oh, okay, this is legitimate. So it adds a level of legitimacy to the listing.
Absolutely. You know, 60, 70 years ago, people would physically go through the obituaries and then dress up in a tie and a nice suit and go to the funeral and, you know, be able to scam the family face to face. Now what they're doing, they're finding these online obituaries, reaching out to family members, doing a little social engineering. They come to you and they say, hey, Mark, I'm really sorry about your grandfather, but your grandfather left an envelope with me and told me that I need to give it to you, and it's got important information about your inheritance in it. So, you know, I've got expenses too. I need $2,500, and then I'll give you this envelope and the DVDs and the other documents, the important documents that your grandfather wanted you to have. I mean, talk about low. You know, you're in mourning, and somebody's reaching out to you and trying to scam you. Bad news, Mark.
Yeah, good grief. Finally, Jim, once that deposit is paid for that beautiful Ford F-150 and the posting disappears, that's it, right? There's no recourse. Your money is gone for good.
Well, in some cases, yeah. I mean, if you paid with a bank card, you know, there may be some way to backstop it there. But if the person says, well, yeah, but I need you, I'm on vacation, I'm out of the country right now, you need to pay me in Bitcoin, or you need to pay me in gift cards. Every time you hear gift cards being demanded as payment for something, whether it's a listing in Facebook or for a fine that you owe to the county or something, be very suspicious. It's probably a scam. Nobody takes gift cards as payment for anything, do they?
Jim Ryan, unheralded consumer advocate from ABC. Jim, great spotlight on this.
Makes me mad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, buddy. Thanks for the insight. Have a great weekend, buddy.
You too, Mark. See ya.
You know, Deborah, I almost fell for a similar scam on someone reached out to me on Facebook. They were selling a late model Dodge Durango with a Swim Dad sticker on the back. And they wanted to get paid in Whataburger gift cards. And I was like, oh, no, gift cards. That's bad. That's crazy. But that's dirty. Like scouring the obituaries. And then, that's just dastardly. Dastardly. All right, so listen, getting whiplash on the markets. You remember like 10 minutes ago, I said to Crypto Bro Longoria that Bitcoin was up like $1,100. It's down $200. What happened in the last 10 minutes? I don't know. But the markets were up 10 minutes ago. Now they're crashing. Dow's down 243 points. NASDAQ's down 135 points. I don't know what has happened. Earnings just came in from Boeing and American Express. Okay. And NVIDIA's fell flat. So maybe that's why we'll monitor that. But again, good news when it comes to mortgage rates. They are dropping. We're going to check in with Bloomberg News in just a moment. Deborah, quick refresher on what you gave up for Lent again. I want to make sure this next item's not on the list. Food-wise.
All right. No alcohol. Yeah, no alcohol, no sweets, and zero meat.
Okay. Did you give up butter for Lent?
I don't really use a lot of butter, but no, not technically.
All right, Longoria, you're shaking your head. You did not give up butter.
No, I did not give up butter.
You might want to think about it. Correspondent Michael George reports how giving up butter could add years to your life.
A simple thing you can do to improve your health: eat less butter and more plant oils. A study by Mass General Brigham looked at the diet of 200,000 people and found people who consumed more soybean, canola, and olive oil had lower rates of cancer and death, and people who ate more butter had higher rates of cancer and death. Simply switching from butter to plant oils could lower your risk of death by as much as 17%.
I have no doubt that switching from butter to, extra virgin olive oil is better for your health, right? The Mediterranean diet. I'm not so sure about canola oil, right?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I doubt that. But here's the thing. Butter's delicious. So, sorry, Michael George. I'm not giving up butter. Butter makes everything better. Kramer shaved with butter. That's how versatile butter is.
That's right.
All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll check back in the markets with gritted teeth, and we're going to check in with Bloomberg News. Good news when it comes to dropping mortgage rates. We could use more good news. That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia announces his resignation.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Some brake lights out of Cobb County, I-20 eastbound.
We've got it covered.
The U.S. Surgeon General is warning about a link between alcohol and cancer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey, how's your HVAC system working these days? Is it keeping you warm? Kind of, maybe, not really. Like, oh hey, this must be how the meat and seafood feel at the supermarket. Castile Heating feels you. We want you warm and comfortable. Our same-day HVAC service will slap that chill into next year. And if it's a new installation you need, Castile's flexible payment options, warranties, and rebates will get your comfort situation going from frozen meats to freshly baked in no time. Book today at CastileAir.com.
This is the sound of someone taking a free test walk in personally fit arch supports at the Good Feet store. It's music to our ears. Just listen to Deidre.
I would tiptoe out of bed because the pain would shoot up my heels. When I went to the Good Feet store, they allowed me to try on the arch supports, and I started sobbing because I had no pain.
Stop by the Good Feet store for a free fitting and test walk today. Your good life starts with Good Feet.
The Good Feet store. Walk-ins welcome, or visit goodfeet.com for more information.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
10:50 on the Mark Arum Show. Still a major mess in DeMoro. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, and Andrew Seco.
Major messes, right, Mark? They're holding all lanes once again with this big crash here. 75 South approaching Jonesboro Road, exit 233 delays all the way back to Forest Parkway 237. Avoid the area till we're all cleaned up. Take Highway 4223, Highway 1941, or I-675. The sports sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Stock up your fridge at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off Chobani yogurt, creamer, and plant-based milk with Prime through March 11th. While supplies last, shop in store or online. Terms apply. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau yesterday keeping an eye on the latest with the tariffs and keeping an eye on Wall Street. Do I even want to look? All right, Dow's now down only 28 points. Up and down day at Wall Street, but something's coming down, and it's actually good news. It's the mortgage interest rates. Covering the story for Bloomberg News and joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, it's Prashant Gopal. Prashant, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
I'm looking for any good economic news, and the story that you're reporting today, mortgage rates posting their biggest weekly drop since mid-September. How low did they go?
Well, you know, they are coming. They've come down slightly, but I've had one expert who describes it as sort of like, the temperature is 15 degrees instead of 10 degrees. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's not. It's still not balmy, right? So we have a long way to go before rates get low enough that actually there's something to cheer about.
So the average for 30-year loans is 6.63%. That's down from 6.76% last week. Now, those still seem high for folks listening that have been in the real estate market over the last 20 years, because we had some historically low rates. But I know my parents listening, when they bought their house in the 70s, they would have killed for a rate of 6.63%.
Yeah, it may not be the best way to look at it, honestly, because, back then, home prices were a lot lower than they are now. In a sense, our prices are based on this kind of period we're in now, right? And we had rates go down to, like 3%, and that allowed prices to kind of really soar. And throughout the pandemic, they were rising super fast, and so now when you look at these high rates, you have to think of it relative to how low we got.
Prashant, here in the metro Atlanta area, home sales have dropped, and a lot of experts pointing to the high interest rates. With sales down, will that lower the price of the average home? Will sellers start coming down off their asking price?
Yeah, typically that's how it works, right? So sales drop and then prices follow, right? So it's a little bit of a lag. So that could happen. The thing with Atlanta that's interesting is because the price point is pretty affordable relative to much of the country. I mean, you have people who are really sensitive to mortgage rates, more than they might be in, I'm in Boston, and here, yeah, we're sensitive. We have a lot of move-up buyers who are bringing equity to the table. They're not as constrained by the high rates, but in a place like Atlanta, the high rates matter much more, and so that's leading to the drop in sales. And if sales drop, eventually, if sellers have to sell, they have to cut their prices, and that you could end. I'm not saying it will happen. You could end up with lower prices.
Prashant Gopal from Bloomberg News joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Uncertainty in the markets, right? The stock markets with the tariffs, with what's going on between Ukraine and Russia. Does it take the Fed dropping interest rates for us to see any sizable reduction in our mortgage rates? Is that what we're waiting for?
The mortgage market is so much more complicated than that. So the reason why we saw rates fall is essentially all the uncertainty and about the economy now going forward with the tariffs. So investors shifted from the stock market to the bond market, and that that lowered the rates for a little bit. We're seeing indications that that's not necessarily going to continue. Right? We'll see what happens when the weekly rates come out from Freddie Mac next week, but we may not see another drop in the same way. So I don't think unless we're in a recession or we're heading to a recession, we shouldn't expect rates to keep falling like this. But we could end up in a recession. We don't really know where things are heading. So,
man, I wanted good news out of you, Prashant. I wanted a slice of good news, not the R word. All right. Well, listen, great insight. I know you cover that for Bloomberg News. At least there's a drop. The mortgage rates dropped a little bit. So I'm going to just take that cherry off the top of the sundae. Prashant, really appreciate your time, buddy. Have a great weekend.
You too.
There you go, Prashant Gopal from. All right. I'm like grasping at good economic news right now. I'm like, that's a little bit. Anyway, here's some good news. I am 8 episodes into the first season of Madam Secretary with Téa Leoni. Deborah, have you ever? It's an older show. It's not new. Have you seen Madam Secretary?
No.
Oh my, it's really good.
I have not seen that one at all.
Yeah,
where's it on?
It's on Netflix right now. It just popped up. I guess it's probably like a 10-year-old show. Téa Leoni and her husband you'll recognize, and the guy that played Wild Bill Hickok in Deadwood, he's the president of the United States, which is, just to show how good. But anyway, I'm 8 episodes in of the first season, and I can give it so far so good, 2 thumbs up. And I just watched the season finale of Paradise on whatever that's on, Hulu. I think it's on Hulu. Phenomenal ending, and they've greenlit a second season. So full endorsement. Paradise on Hulu, and I'm really digging Madam Secretary. I really want to join the CIA. I'm going to, you know what, Gnocchi, go pull up the CIA job listings. Maybe I can get a part-time gig at the CIA. That's my future, Longoria.
Trump's going to cut you as soon as you get the job.
I'm going to wait. Now that Doge is pushed back a little bit.
Okay.
We will discuss what Doge. Did Doge just get reined in? And a big movement in the Russia-Ukraine talks. We're going to get reaction from Moscow next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It won't be that long before school gets out. And if you're thinking about buying a new home this summer, now is the time to get the ball rolling. This is Scott Slade. My friends at MyLand always recommend getting pre-approved before starting to shop for your next home. Make sure you know how much you can afford and have your financing ready to make an offer when you find your dream home. MyLand is who I recommend for all home financing needs, whether it's a second mortgage, cash out refinance, or purchase of a new home. They even have a great new product that allows you to qualify for an investment or rental property without personal income documents. Whatever type of mortgage you need, MyLand will close your loan fast without issues and headaches and make sure you have the best rate in town. Call MyLand. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage Licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
Do you frequently ask family and friends to repeat themselves? Do you struggle to understand conversations when you're at a restaurant, missing important life moments? Hi, this is Dr. Prince from Atlanta Hearing Associates, and we can help you hear better again. At Atlanta Hearing Associates, we combine the latest technology with compassionate care given by doctors of audiology to help you successfully manage hearing loss and get back to enjoying your life to the fullest. We offer hearing tests for individuals of all ages with easy online scheduling at hearatlanta.com. Symptoms: your hearing is muffled or words are not clear. It's difficult to hear when there is background noise. You turn the TV volume way up. If you noticed any of these symptoms, it's time to have a hearing test. Come on in and see us at Atlanta Hearing Associates. Easy online scheduling is available at hearatlanta.com. HEAR Atlanta.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. Our top local story: the mayor of Jonesboro retracts her statement of resignation offered at a special city council meeting.
Jonesboro Mayor Danya Sator says with time to reflect, she is reversing course and intends to remain in her position.
After speaking with numerous residents, constituents, business owners, stakeholders, I've changed my mind and will not offer a resignation as mayor.
The mayor indicating she has been harassed by some on the city council who may or may not have a racial bias. She also says a forensic audit has shown no evidence of any wrongdoing on her part. Another special session planned for 6 o'clock tonight to formally accept the resignation has now been canceled. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is 53 degrees right now in Midtown. Few clouds around today, but still a great day to get outside. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Crews are getting some help from an underwater search expert in the ongoing Lake Oconee search for Westminster School's teacher Gary Jones. Keith Cormican, who runs Wisconsin-based nonprofit Bruce's Legacy, is bringing high-tech equipment in hopes to help find Jones's body under the water.
Really, the search area is not that big compared to a lot of areas that we've, cases that we've worked. So I feel good about that it's not a very big area.
He's set to arrive at the lake today. It's been almost a month since Jones and his fiancée Joycelyn Wilson disappeared while boating. Wilson's body was found a short time later. An update on the downtown connector crash that snarled the morning commute for thousands of drivers in metro Atlanta. The Georgia State Patrol now says it was caused by a wrong-way driver, believed to be driving under the influence. A state trooper traveling southbound on the connector witnessed a vehicle traveling northbound in the HOV lane on I-75-85, and by the time he caught up to the wrong-way driver, they had already crashed. The State Patrol says that driver and passenger were taken to Grady with injuries, and the driver is facing several charges. That does include DUI. The southbound lanes of the connector were closed for more than 3 hours. The state Senate amends a bill during crossover day that would ban all drinks containing THC. Republican State Senator Randy Robertson proposing the amendment, which passed with 2 votes.
We need to pump the brakes, slow down, and let's make sure we're doing the right thing for our state.
Many fear the measure could upend what's been a growing market for some craft brewers. The bill now goes to the State House. Many gather in Selma, Alabama today and this weekend to recognize the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, when peaceful marchers calling for voting rights were beaten by Alabama state troopers. Senator Raphael Warnock's in Selma for the anniversary.
The people have to rise up and say this is our democracy. You can't buy it, and you can't squeeze our voices out. And Selma reminds us better than most places that unarmed truth and unconditional love, as Dr. King used to say, will have the last word in reality.
He's set to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge and will also preach this weekend in Selma for that anniversary. The world's second largest financial exchange could change the way you trade starting next year.
Money never sleeps, and it won't have a chance to rest if the NASDAQ goes forward to implementing 24-hour trading 5 days a week. The major New York exchange says it's taking steps towards that goal because of more international investment.
Brian Clark reports corporate issuers are hesitant about that plan. It could go into effect starting fall of 2026. It's 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Austin. Not a good morning on the south side. Back to a red alert for now as they work to clear this nasty crash. 75 southbound, Highway 54, Jonesboro Road, exit 233. Traffic being diverted off at that exit. Luckily, it can hop right back on. They're also putting them back on off at Terra Boulevard. So avoid it all. Use Highway 1941, Highway 54, Highway 42, even 675. Some good alternates there. And you're slow into Cobb County. I-20 westbound stacking up, leaving Wesley Chapel Road over to 285, the east side perimeter. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today, mild with a high of 66. Lows tonight in the low 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 70. Sunday, cloudy with off and on rain showers, morning low 49, afternoon high 57.
No rain around the metro right now from Storm Tracker radar. Right now it is 54 degrees in the Stockbridge, 52 in Alpharetta, and 53 in Midtown. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
No, I run this town to be near you.
11:05 on this fantastic Friday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew at your beck and call till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes or so. Deborah's got some movie tickets to give away. Going to keep a consistent eye on the markets. Bitcoin down, Dow down. It's up and down. I don't even know why I'm bothering even looking. Just wait till the bell rings to end the day, and then you'll find out what your 401k did or did not do. A lot of movement with Musk and Doge. We'll recheck in on that. I do want to update what's going on with the Russia-Ukraine war. We talked to Shannon Kingston from ABC News at the State Department earlier in the show. Ongoing talks right now in Brussels, Belgium, between President Zelensky of Ukraine and European leaders. And there's going to be a scheduled meeting, not at the White House, but in Saudi Arabia, between U.S. diplomats and Ukrainian diplomats to see if we can get some sort of a deal. The big question, though, as Russia, as Ukraine and the United States and the EU continue, what has been the reaction in Moscow to all this? Last night, CNN's Matthew Chance reported on what's going on in Russia as we continue to negotiate with Ukraine. The reaction from Moscow.
It's a sign of the times that even the Kremlin's old propagandists are rapidly changing their tune. Dmitry Kisilov is the state mouthpiece who once boasted how Russia could reduce America to nuclear ash.
Россия, Китай, США.
Now, he's talking about a great troika, the US, Russia and China, forming the new structure of the world. And Ukraine is where that structure is being forged. Trump administration's hard line on Kiev, including the suspension of US military aid, has been greeted with glee in the Kremlin, with Russian officials now berating Europe while flip-flopping on Washington's historical role. All of the tragedies of the world originated in Europe, claims the foreign minister Sergei Lavrov. Colonization, wars, the Crimean War, Napoleon, World War I, Hitler. If we look at history in retrospect, he says, Americans played no instigating or even inflammatory role. It's extraordinary revisionism in extraordinary times.
You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't have. You're playing cards.
This was the moment that underlined how everything had changed. The humiliation in the Oval Office of the Kremlin's sworn enemy took even Russians aback, with Kremlin channels struggling to make sense of Washington's seismic shift. Trump speaks about peace, and those around him talk about Ukraine's success, says this reporter on state television. But it looks like he's giving Russia all the cards to achieve success on the battlefield, he adds.
So, Vladimir, thank you very much.
And it's far more than that. The strange Trump-Putin bond is now threatening Western unity. In exchange, all Putin has done is offer potentially lucrative business deals. Trump's kryptonite, according to one Russian commentator. Trump is like Superman, and our president, Putin, has found his weakness, he tells state TV. As soon as Trump hears the words rare earth metals, he's ready to accept any terms, he adds. Little wonder the Kremlin's propagandists are now falling over themselves to praise the United States. They may have changed their tune, but America has too. Well, John, one pro-Kremlin commentator summed it up on social media, responding to a call by a Ukrainian official for Russia to stop its daily shelling of Ukraine if it really wants to end the war. The commentator responded that the official had, quote, forgot that Trump doesn't set any conditions for Russia and Putin, only for Zelensky and Ukraine.
Matthew Chance last night in Moscow, just to show you, like, just how rapidly changing things can be now in 2025. That was last night. And it's been a complete 180 with Russian media. They used to be, anti-West. You heard that one guy famously say that Russia, you could reduce the United States to just nuclear ash. And now completely on board with the United States and revising history. It's remarkable. So that was last night. Fast forward to an hour ago. This just popped from Axios. President Trump today, Friday, threatened new sanctions and tariffs on Russia as he ramped up pressure on the Kremlin to agree to a ceasefire and peace settlement with Ukraine. So right last night, Moscow was cheering President Trump. Oh, he's in our court. It's going to be us, the United States and China, new world order. Trump's the best. And then just an hour ago, President Trump threatened new sanctions and tariffs on Russia, ramping up pressure on the Kremlin to agree to a ceasefire settlement with Ukraine. All right, why does this matter? This is the first time since taking office that Trump has issued a public threat against Russia after taking a softer line toward Vladimir Putin while hammering Ukraine's President Zelensky. A senior White House official said, quote, Trump's rage has been intensifying, end quote, in recent days due to Russia's behavior and its escalation of strikes on Ukraine. At the same time, he's been pushing for a ceasefire. So since Friday, that just awkward, awful moment in the White House, Russia's been hammering Ukraine, and not just military targets, but civilian targets as well. Apparently, Trump is furious about this. Earlier this week, you heard Trump made the decision to suspend weapons supplies and intelligence sharing with Ukraine to force negotiation. Trump's pressure led Ukraine to agree to the idea of a ceasefire and to express willingness to engage in peace talks in Russia. And as I mentioned, senior U.S. and Ukrainian officials will meet next week in Saudi Arabia to discuss a possible ceasefire and a framework for a peace agreement with Russia. But the new headline, like just 12 hours ago in Moscow, Matthew Chance, the Kremlin, Moscow Russian state TV, praising Donald Trump and what he's doing in the world right now. And then just an hour ago, President Trump threatened new sanctions and tariffs on Russia, ramping up pressure on the Kremlin to agree to a ceasefire and peace settlement in Ukraine. One dog's looking this way, one dog's looking this way, and this guy's saying, what do you want from me? From Goodfellas. I don't know what's going on. This is unbelievable. I should say that President Trump is set to speak from the Oval Office at any moment. No idea what he's going to talk about. I think it's going to be economically related. We had the job report today. President Trump always following the markets, but we'll monitor what President Trump has to say from the Oval Office, and we'll continue our coverage next on The Mark Arum Show.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
I've got a sense of humor.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
The driver of this vehicle is a better human being than you are.
He's Eric Von Hessler.
I'm here to tell you the truth.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
We're all getting long in the tooth, friends. Am I right? What about your heating and cooling systems? Are they aging? Well, let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. Reliable Heating and Air, licensed, bonded, and insured. Amazing service. I can tell you firsthand, Reliable is the best. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just amazing coverage for as low as $14.99 a month. And next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. So protect your aging heating and cooling system with the amazing folks at Reliable Heating and Air. Just $14.99 a month gives you amazing peace of mind. Get all the info and schedule a consultation online at reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com. Don't wait until your aging systems go kaput. Get your protection now at reliableair.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. Create your dream engagement ring and browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts. From diamond studs, tennis bracelets, birthstone necklaces, and more. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company knows how to work with your budget, not against it. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, this is Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. The plastic surgeons and estheticians at Marietta Plastic Surgery have been taking care of my needs for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have served Atlanta for over 25 years, providing both surgical and non-surgical treatments. They're recognized for their commitment to patient care and satisfaction, and were featured in the Atlantan magazine list of top doctors. The temperature's starting to rise and summer's just around the corner. Are you ready for the pool, lake, or beach? Whether you're considering enhancements for your face, body, or breast, their experts are here to guide you. Marietta Plastic Surgery offers a range of med spa treatments which provide youthful, glowing skin, including Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8. Contact them today for a consultation. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com.
From mission-critical moments to business as usual, rely on Critical Link from Southern Link, the network that supports L3 Harris LMR and LTE radios and Samsung Galaxy Series smartphones. Critical Link, reliability in action. Call 866-450-LINC for more information on Southern Link products and deals. Or visit Highfly Technologies in Atlanta or NextLink in Duluth. Go to southernlink.com to find a dealer near you.
11:18 on the Mark Aram Show, checking delays on the south side. Any improvement, Alex Williams?
Much better now, at least with laneage. We got all lanes back open. Crashes off to the right, 75 southbound, Highway 54, Jonesboro Road, exit 233, but it's going to take some time for those delays coming down from Forest Parkway to improve. 675 southbound has gotten slow as an alternate as you leave Anvil Block Road down through Ellenwood. And into DeKalb County, we had a crash. They had all lanes shut down. I-20 westbound at I-285, exit 67. That has since cleared. Still slow from Panola Road, but those delays will quickly improve coming out of Lithonia. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Freedom is something that we take seriously. Religious freedom, freedom of our health. And so shout out to MC Prep for being the least vaccinated school in Texas. We'll take it.
Presented without comment. That was Pastor Lander. Scott says it's a badge of honor. He is celebrating his school's distinction as the least vaccinated school in Texas. Mercy Culture Preparatory Academy in Fort Worth has a measles vaccination rate of their students of just 14%. No comment. Just I'll play the audio again. Now you know what he was talking about. 14% measles vaccination rate in this school.
Freedom is something that we take seriously. Religious freedom, freedom of our health. And so shout out to MC Prep for being the least vaccinated school in Texas. We'll take it.
We will take it. Okay. Thank you, Pastor. President Trump set to speak at the Oval Office sometime soon. Don't know what he's going to talk about, but we'll monitor it and break it down for you. Before the last segment, I asked Gnocchi to do a little homework. He's on the phones today. I said I wanted to get a part-time job at the CIA. Eventually, I'll move into a full-time job. But right now, I just need a part-time side hustle because I'm doing the radio show here. And in Madam Secretary, that show I've been watching, the Secretary of State, she had a background in the CIA. I just want to be in it. So I asked Gnocchi, I'm like, can you find me a part-time job at the Central Intelligence Agency? You found one available part-time job.
Yes, sir.
All right, Longoria, do you think I'd qualify for, without knowing what the job is?
Okay.
Do you think
Is it entry level? Can I get that?
No, you get nothing. There's one part-time job opening right now. Do you think I would be qualified?
No.
Deborah, do you think I will be qualified for the single part-time job opening at the CIA right now?
Part-time. I'll say yes to part-time.
All right. Longoria, you're right. Debbie, you're wrong. There's only one part-time job available at the CIA, Gnocchi. What is it?
A sign language interpreter.
Now, to be fair, in elementary school, one of my teachers taught us how to do the alphabet.
Right.
A, B, C. You know, I can still, but no, so that's really the only part-time job?
Yeah, I went to the filters and did part-time, and yeah, that's the only one that popped up.
Is it just one position?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it doesn't say.
How does it say?
You can do full-time, part-time, and then...
That's what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Now, they have a bunch of full-time.
Now, is that like a translator if the CIA, they're interrogating a deaf terrorist and they need someone to do the sign language?
Maybe it's at press conferences.
All right, yeah, well, that's normal. But this is the CIA. Like, hey, we got this Al-Qaeda guy. He's deaf. We need some.
And that's the only thing you do. So you're just in an office waiting for them to call you up.
Exactly. That's why
Aram,
he's
we
part-time.
need Aram. It's like a light. It's my turn.
That's why he's part-time. Does it say what it pays, Nyoki?
Well, it says the salary range is based on a full-time position. It says, but for full-time, it's $105,000.
Oh.
And then
I'm gonna learn
ranging
sign
from
language.
105 to 153.
All right. Thank you for pulling that up. Maybe, all right, I can't do it yet. I got 3 years left of my contract. Maybe just search full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking analyst. Listen, I'm not a spy, right? You're not sending me to...
It'll be like Spies Like Us if you become a
Yeah,
spy.
you're not sending me to Sudan. But I could be a diplomat or an analyst.
There's a administrative professional.
That's like a
It's like a
secretary.
boss.
No. Anyway, keep searching, Yoki. You're doing God's work there, buddy. All right, but if you have sign language skills, you can make over $100K working as a translator for the CIA. I'll get there eventually. I've been talking about it on the air so long. You would think one of their assets would reach out to me and say, "All right, we heard you talking. All right, come on board. We can."
Yeah, it's that easy. Just come
I'm
on,
just
come
throwing
on,
it out there.
Come on board.
You know. I mention a bakery and I get 48 calls. Oh yeah, I love that. You know, I'm mentioning the CIA and getting nothing. Anyway, all right. Either that or I got to learn sign language. All right. Again, we're waiting President Trump to speak from the Oval Office. We have no idea what he's going to talk about. Probably not going to talk about Taylor Swift, right? Not a big Swiftie. This is a Taylor Swift story. This is a dumb criminal. You do not want to tick off the Swiftie nation. What did this criminal do related to Taylor Swift, Deborah?
These criminals, it was a pair of criminals, actually were able to steal over $600,000 worth of Taylor Swift Eras tickets, which you know was a big deal. A lot of people could not get those tickets, including you and all your connections and people you asked. And they were able to steal them online and then resell them on another site, which was a big deal because they upped the prices on that.
So what did they say how this went down? Did they buy the tickets, counterfeit them? How were the Swifties scammed out of $600,000?
So this was all online. If you've ever logged into your online account at Ticketmaster or whatever, they were able to get into those accounts. They were able to hack them and basically steal the tickets as you keep them in your wallet, and then you scan them when you get there on your phone. They were able to take those from people's individuals' accounts, move them into their account, and then resell them.
Interesting. All right, but those are expensive tickets. Again, I wish you didn't remind me of the fact that the first time in 27 years I asked promotions for a pair of tickets to the Taylor Swift concert, thinking I've got enough goodwill built up, and I got denied on them, and then they were giving them away on beat. All right, I'm getting angry just thinking about it. But when Maya went to check to buy some, they're like over $1,000 for nosebleeds. Like that's one of the most expensive tickets around are those Taylor Swift tickets. Yes. All right, we'll update that story. Deborah Green, our official musical correspondent on the 600. Those Swifties will come after you. They're out for blood, those Swifties.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with that. All right, daylight saving time, that time of the year again, when the clock's spring ahead, we will lose an hour of sleep. CBS News correspondent Dania Backus looks at why some health experts want to stop the time change.
Research has shown the ritual of changing the clocks in spring and fall can impact productivity and our mental and physical health.
Honestly, even sleeping in an hour, I get groggy, and then losing the hour, I just get evil.
It's why the American Academy of Sleep Medicine wants to eliminate seasonal time changes.
It's harder to go to bed when it's light out, so that can make it harder to fall asleep, but yet our responsibilities are the same in terms of waking up for school, waking up for work.
Dr. Anita Shelgakar is president of the Academy, which recommends moving to year-round permanent standard time. Before taking office, President Trump posted his support for ending daylight saving time, saying it is inconvenient and very costly to our nation.
I just know it's inconvenient for my dogs because they're either like, you're feeding me an hour too early or you're feeding me an hour too late.
Yeah. The girls the same way, and pets.
I did hear on Atlanta's Morning News today, they talked about service dogs feeling the effect, but they said after a day or two, they get back into it. So it doesn't take that long. I just hate losing that hour of sleep this weekend. Ugh. All right, waiting President Trump to speak from the Oval. We'll monitor that for you. A big movement, perhaps DOGE being reined in and the future of the Department of Education. We'll revisit that big story next on the Mark Arum Show. Deborah Green's got tickets to give away as well. Watch the show live The video stream's up at WSBRadio.com or follow us on socials at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Have you ever really thought about the service companies you use? If you don't already have an HVAC company, let me save you some time. For almost 30 years, Ragsdale has been knowledgeable, friendly, and on time. I know you can trust Ragsdale to take care of all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Quality work at a fair price and a 4.9 Google rating. Some of Ragsdale's employees have been with them for almost 30 years. That's trusted work right there. There's no time like now before spring arrives. Schedule at RagsdaleAir.com. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
Do you frequently ask family and friends to repeat themselves? Do you struggle to understand conversations when you're at a restaurant, missing important life moments? Hi, this is Dr. Prince from Atlanta Hearing Associates, and we can help you hear better again. At Atlanta Hearing Associates, we combine the latest technology with compassionate care given by doctors of audiology to help you successfully manage hearing loss and get back to enjoying your life to the fullest. We offer hearing tests for individuals of all ages with easy online scheduling at HearAtlanta.com. Symptoms: your hearing is muffled or words are not clear. It's difficult to hear when there is background noise. You turn the TV volume way up. If you noticed any of these symptoms, it's time to have a hearing test. Come on in and see us at Atlanta Hearing Associates. Easy online scheduling is available at HearAtlanta.com. HEAR Atlanta.com.
It's Home Show time! The Atlanta Home Show is Friday, March 7th through Sunday the 9th at the Cobb Galleria Center. The Atlanta Home Show, full of great deals, new ideas, and practical advice. Get your tickets online now at AtlantaHomeShow.com. Use Baker in the promo code and save 50%.
Nobody wants to think about their septic system. Hi, I'm Shannon. I started Scorpion Septic so you don't have to. My licensed, insured, experienced team responds 24/7 with fast, on-time service, upfront pricing, and high-quality work.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump-out charge with your repair. Call for more information. ScorpionSepticServices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It all started as a front door dream. You want those beautiful double doors for the front entrance of your home. But every company you talk to said that single door just can't go double. But with us, you can. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. We specialize in removing your dated single front door, side lights, and transom, replacing them with a beautiful double door, customized for that space to impress and welcome your guests. Get started at all4seasonsgarages.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 11:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top local story, the mayor of Jonesboro speaks for the first time after announcing her resignation, then rescinding that decision all in a span of 24 hours. Danya Sarter claims she's been harassed by some who could have a racial bias.
Though it would personally be favorable to my family and me, I cannot in my heart let down the citizens, the thousands of citizens dependent on me to fulfill and complete my office as mayor of the city of Jonesboro.
A special session session scheduled for 6 o'clock tonight to formally accept the resignation has now been officially canceled. New at 11:30, police in Douglasville say 2 people are dead in what appears to be a murder-suicide. That happened at the Chapel Hill Village Shopping Center on Chapel Hill Road. Officers found the 2 people dead in that vehicle. Their names have not yet been released as they wait to notify next of kin. Police are continuing to investigate. We're getting some more information about the crash that made a lot of Atlanta drivers miss flights or late for work this morning.
The Georgia State Patrol says the crash on the downtown connector that snarled traffic for more than 3 hours is blamed on a wrong-way driver believed to be driving under the influence. A state trooper noticed the driver going the wrong way in the southbound HOV lane on I-75/85 just after 3 a.m., but by the time the trooper caught up with the car, it was involved in a violent crash, injuring both the driver and passenger. The wreck required a massive cleanup and reconstruction. The driver is facing multiple charges, including DUI and underage consumption. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
The level of THC for medical cannabis could see a major increase as part of legislation under the Gold Dome.
The law, approved by the Senate, boosts the legal limit of THC from 5 to 50% and would allow Georgians to vape the product if they qualify to use it. Republican State Senator Matt Brass says it's about giving doctors and patients options.
There's so many options out there, and not all the other options are best for each patient.
The legislation also allows for use of the THC oil before the end stage of an illness like cancer. Some oppose the measure, fearing it could be abused. It now goes to the House. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Well, while there is some rain in the forecast this weekend, the National Weather Service warns of high fire danger today. That's because of dry conditions and low humidity. Seth Hawkins with the Georgia Forestry Commission says everyone can take steps to prevent a large blaze.
Little things, like if you are going to have a little fire in the evening, if it's in like in a chimney or like an enclosed little fire pot, that should be safe. Embers can't fly away from that. The big thing is just make sure it's completely extinguished before you go inside for the evening.
He also says don't park on the side of the highway today. It's so dry they have seen cars start fires when parked over grass. Costco is bucking the trend of a series of recent brick and mortar store closures by announcing it plans to open a dozen new locations across the country.
This is a testament to how shoppers right now are prioritizing deals and value, especially amid rising grocery costs. Costco did report strong sales in grocery categories like ground beef and poultry. It says customers are trading down for lower cost protein options.
Elizabeth Scholze reports sales are also up for toys, furniture, and gold. It's 11:33. We have live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
All that crash cleanup in Morrow, still on the right shoulder, 75 southbound, Highway 54, Jonesboro Road exit 233, on and off the brakes, coming through Forest Park. No need to use 675 south as an alternate anymore because that's jammed in just south of 285, trying to get down through Ellenwood. And you got that daily road work on the 400 southbound ramp to I-85 southbound heading toward Midtown. Only the right lane of that ramp is open, causing some delays as you come out of Buckhead. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 66, lows tonight in the low 50s. Cloudy skies tomorrow with a few light rain showers possible, high near 70. Cloudy skies on Sunday with off and on rain showers, morning lows in the upper 40s, daytime highs in the mid 50s.
Right now it's 54 degrees in Buford, 57 in College Park, and 55 in Midtown. More news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Do we need this department?
No, we don't.
What about your employees, 4,100 employees?
Newly
what are they
minted
saying?
head of the Department of Transportation, Linda McMahon, this morning on Fox News. Who will be in charge of laying off these DOE workers? Will it be Musk or McMahon? We'll explain in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Your roof has been working overtime lately. Heavy rain and severe storms have impacted our area again. So how did your roof hold up? Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show here. Water is your home's #1 enemy. Heavy rain and severe storms like we've had recently can expose roof leaks and lead to water damage. I recommend you schedule a free roof analysis with my roofer, Finley Roofing, the roof guys. If your roof is leaking or damaged, it's possible tall that you don't even see any signs yet. But you can see water inside. Look around. Check your attic, ceiling, drywall, and chimney area. Do you see dripping water, wet spots, or water streaks? If yes, think of Findlay first. Findlay Roofing is locally owned and operated. They always follow the golden rule to treat you right, and I trust them in my home. You can trust them too. Get peace of mind with no obligation and no charge. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2.
Ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. 11:37. Oh, I can taste the weekend already. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Before we get back to the meat and potatoes, let's do the dessert. We have 2 pair of tickets to give away today. Codes to see the film Mickey 17. Has nothing to do with Mickey Mouse. It's in theaters on March 17th. It's about Mickey Barnes, who goes into outer space. Apparently a phenomenal movie. We have 2 pairs of tickets. So let's do callers 9 and 10 to Brianna at 404-872-0750. Callers 9 and 10 to 404-872-0750. Win a pair of tickets, codes to see the film Mickey 17 in theaters March 17th. So this is, you don't even have to come to the station. I think we just give you the codes. And then,
yeah, I'm sure you get them emailed.
Yeah, or whatever, however it works. So,
Yeah.
Brianna, callers at 9 and 10, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. All right, President Trump is set to, I don't know what the schedule is. It's a presidential thing. At any moment, President Trump's going to speak from the Oval Office. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but we and the news team are monitoring it, and we'll break it down as soon as President Trump does speak. Played that audio from Linda McMahon, the newly minted head of the Department of Education. We talked about that yesterday, what I think is going to happen with the DOE going forward. But the big headline yesterday was there was a cabinet meeting. President Trump held a cabinet meeting, closed door. There was no press conference before. And apparently what happened behind the scenes was he told all the cabinet secretaries, like Linda McMahon, like Kash Patel, like Doug Collins, that from now on, they will be in charge of determining who loses their job or who doesn't as they try to trim up the federal workforce. So up until this point, it's been Doge and Musk kind of taking a blowtorch to things. And they've gotten a lot of pushback, a lot of veterans losing their jobs. The VA specifically, I think 25% of the workforce at the VA are veterans. And there's been a lot of pushback and political fallout from that. So President Trump had a cabinet meeting yesterday. Basically, again, we think, because it was all behind closed doors, that he is reining in Doge. Kevin Liptak at the White House this morning has more.
Well, that's what Trump is trying to do here. He's trying to clarify exactly who has the power in the federal government to cut the government down to size. Who has the power of firing and hiring? And what he's saying here is, yes, he still supports Elon Musk, but it will be the cabinet officials, the Senate-confirmed heads of these agencies and departments who will have the ultimate say. What he's essentially trying to do here is reel in Elon Musk to temper some of how he has gone about what has so far been this indiscriminate attempt to cut the federal government down to size. That had been causing so much concern among Republicans who had been facing heat from their own constituents, but also from these cabinet members who, by and large, do support the overall mission, but had some real questions about how Musk was going about it. And certainly they had begun voicing some of those concerns to some senior officials here in the White House. That all culminated yesterday in this 90-minute meeting in the cabinet room. That's the same room where Musk kind of held court with cameras rolling 1 week ago. This time, there were no cameras, but it was President Trump who said, with Musk sitting there nearby, that it would be these cabinet officials who had the ultimate decision-making power on the staffing within their own government, and that he wanted it to be less of a haphazard approach going forward. He said on social media, they can be very precise as who will remain and who will go. We say the scalpel rather than the hatchet. Now, how this works in practice, I think, remains to be seen. And we heard President Trump in the Oval Office shortly after this saying that Musk would still be making recommendations. Listen to what he said.
Keep all the people you want, everybody that you need. The people that aren't doing a good job, that are unreliable, don't show up to work, etc., those people can be cut. We're going to be watching them, and Elon and the group are going to be watching them. And if they can cut, it's better. And if they don't cut, then Elon will do the cutting.
So you hear Trump there essentially putting these cabinet members on notice that, yes, they have the final decision-making power, but Musk will still be looking over their shoulder to ensure this is all going according to plan. So you can easily see how that could turn into a power struggle down the line. The president did make clear that this would be an ongoing conversation. He said he would convene his cabinet members and Musk for these types of meetings every 2 weeks.
Kevin Liptak at the White House this morning. Now, I've been saying this since day one, that you should have used the scalpel approach as opposed to the machete approach on how to do this. It's obvious, right? If you go in blindly and you just start whacking people without knowing if they're any good or not, it's going to hurt the agency. I understand the goal is to cut federal spending and waste and abuse, but that the machete method, from day one I said it, it's dumb. They shouldn't have done it that way. Now you heard President Trump said use the scalpel instead of the machete or whatever instrument he used. I don't know if it was machete or not, but I've been saying that for day one. And that's been the knee-jerk reaction from everyone, like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. Now, I'm not saying that's not why this happened, but I also think there's another possible layer to this. And that is to protect the firings of federal workers legally, right? We had the breaking news from the Supreme Court earlier this week, 5-4, 2 justices siding with the liberals, saying that you can't get rid of all that USAID funding. Like, that was kind of stunning that the Supreme Court kind of slapped Doge and President Trump on the wrist saying, no, you can't do it. I think that opened some legal eyes in the White House and said, all right, we've got so many court challenges. We want to go in there and take care of business. How can we prevent losing at the Supreme Court again? And I think part of the decision yesterday to hand the power of firings to the heads of the departments instead of Musk and Doge is to protect themselves legally. Because I could envision a number of these court cases getting to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court saying Musk and Doge don't have the power to do that. It's with the cabinet heads. It's with Linda McMahon. It's with Kash Patel. It's with Doug Collins. They are the ones that have to do the fire. It can't be this Doge entity. So I think that is part of the plan here, the strategy from the Trump White House to continue to cut federal jobs is to avoid any legal challenges. And I think the way to do that is what President Trump said yesterday. All right, it's not Musk that has the final say on who gets fired. It's the heads of every department. Pete Hegseth will get the final say on who loses their job or doesn't at the DOD and the Pentagon. So I think it could be two legitimate things moving forward. Let's not use the machete. Let's use the scalpel. But also, let's protect ourselves from future legal battles. All right, we're still awaiting President Trump to speak from the Oval this morning. When he does, we will let you know. The Dow down 365. Don't even worry about it. You'll be fine. Everything's fine. When we come back, I've got breaking news regarding Lent. And oh my goodness, heartbreaking for Dolly Parton. We'll cover that next to the Mark Arum Show.
Everyone has an opinion.
Your baby is ugly.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
I abhor violence. Unless it's on the football field, where it belongs.
And some advice.
A meme coin, of course, something I don't really understand. Don't ever buy one. There you go. I just gave you some great advice.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Mercedes?
Check.
BMW?
Check.
Audi, Volkswagen?
Check.
Bentley, Rolls-Royce, and Lambo?
Check, check, and check. At Rocco's European Garage, we take pride in providing full service for all luxury and European import vehicles. This is Rocco. Visit one of our 6 locations for top-notch customer service that includes upfront pricing, customer approval prior to us beginning work, and a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker. All without voiding your car's manufacturer warranty. Online at roccoseuropeangarage.com.
The word Del Bar in Farsi means beloved, and that's what Del Bar Middle Eastern Restaurant is all about. Serving Mediterranean dishes from wood-fired grilled meats, seafood, and chicken to their iconic basmati rice. Del Bar is an unforgettable experience.
I'm Faris Kargar, and I'm the owner of Del Bar Restaurants, and I personally invite you guys to come in and experience our Persian hospitality to capture your heart and enjoy a memorable experience.
See what the buzz is all about. Visit one of their 3 Michelin Guide-recommended Del Bar restaurants. Google Del Bar Atlanta today.
If you've been thinking about selling your home, now is the time. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home fast and for more than you expect. Hi, it's Chris Chandler, and I'm here with Mark of Mark Spain Real Estate. Mark, can you explain some of the reasons why people prefer the option of the guaranteed offer over the traditional home sale?
Our guaranteed offer saves you time by eliminating all the hassle of a traditional home sale. We bring you a competitive cash offer, and literally you get to pick the closing date. It's that simple. It's all cash, no contingencies, quick close, so you can move on to the next chapter of your life.
It really is that simple. And don't just take my word for it. Mark Spain Real Estate has over 12,500 5-star reviews, making them the most trusted and experienced real estate team in the U.S. Don't wait for your home to sell. Choose when you want to move and close with confidence. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the 3rd leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
11:50 on the Mark Arum Show. Not the news we wanted to hear. Big rig fire on I-75. Live with the latest, Alex Williams.
Yeah, travel advisory heading out of Ackworth into Kennesaw. Tractor trailer fire. Fire department quick to the scene. They're dousing at 75 southbound Barrett Parkway, exit 269, but only the left shoulder is open. Already slow back before Wade Green Road. That means thinking about Highway 41, Cobb Parkway, or I-575 southbound as your alternates there. Still in recovery mode on the south side, 75 and 675, both still slow coming down to their merging points where the earlier trouble cleared in Morrow. And checking on a new slow zone out of Lithonia, I-20 westbound approaching Panola Road, exit 71. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Listen to this song for a second, folks.
Love and believe the ups and downs we've always shared, and I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there.
American treasure, Dolly Parton there. Earlier in the week, we found out that her husband, Carl Dean, passed away. And I guess today or yesterday, Dolly released this sweeping ballad in tribute to her late husband. Let's hear a little more.
Your loving arms have cradled me. You've held me close, and I believe I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there, holding my hand.
Gosh, I wondered when she wrote this ballad for her husband. Could it? I mean, they've been together. I think she was 18 and he was 23 when they got together. So that's 60 plus years of marriage. I wonder if she wrote it early on in their marriage or recently as his health. Heartbreaking. So sorry. Dolly Parton, she should be the president. You want to get bipartisan support?
Oh, yeah.
Dolly Parton for president. Man. If you hadn't been there is the name of the song if you want to find it. Good stuff. So sorry, Dolly. Rest in peace to her husband, Carl Dean. I had no idea that was the name of her husband. No idea.
Yeah, he was very private. You didn't see him very much at all.
Yeah, you're very private. This is shocking, Deborah Green. We're coming back to some breaking news regarding Lent.
Where is Hector?
Deborah, our official Catholic correspondent. Again, refresh our memory. What did you give up for Lent this year, Deborah?
All right, no meat of any kind, no alcohol, no sweets, no internet shopping.
Okay, that's big stuff, right? Those are very difficult for you. Internet shopping specifically. You're not buying anything.
Yes.
I mean, that shows your commitment to the Lenten season and, amazing. You've just got trumped big time by Andrew Longoria.
Uh-oh.
We have breaking news,
my
Deborah,
gosh.
when it comes to Lent. Deborah gives up meat and sweets and internet shopping and alcohol.
Where is Hector?
Longoria has given up, Deborah, Whataburger
Yes.
for Lent.
What?
Everything. Nothing from the menu at all.
Well, what's the fine print there? What do you mean nothing? You can
Nothing.
order stuff off the menu?
No, nothing.
All right.
Nothing at all. Nothing that has the Whataburger name on it at all.
First of all, sell your Whataburger stock because for the next however many days.
Yeah, they're going to lose. You're going to be in the negative.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. Whataburger is not happy, but why did you decide to make the big leap?
I gave up some other stuff. I gave up sodas. I don't drink that many sodas anymore,
I
but
know.
I'm on a root beer kick, so I kind of gave those up. I love French fries. French fries are my thing.
Yes.
So any fried potato, I gave that up. I gave up ice cream. I didn't want to give up all sweets like Deborah did because
Your
my
birthday's
tomorrow. I wanted
Yes.
to have cake. I know that's kind of weird. And so I was like, I need to give up something that really means something to me, like that just is gonna tear me apart. And I was like, Whataburger.
I can't. But what did your wife say? Or she know?
She was mad. She was like, "What? I can't. What are you talking about?" She was like, "We can't eat Whataburger." I was like, "Or you're gonna eat French fries, drink soda, and eat ice cream for the next 40 days. So what is the difference? Like you're still putting that in my face. So why not eat Whataburger in my face? It'll be a testament to my."
So from Wednesday till April 20th, Deborah,
Yeah,
is that
till
when?
Easter.
All right. So Easter.
April 20th. Yeah.
So Easter is going to be not ham. It's going to be Whataburger. You're going to go to a Whataburger feast.
I'm eating breakfast,
Wow.
lunch, and dinner on Easter.
I'm
That's it.
so proud of you, man.
Longoria, that is like the Disney Fast Pass to heaven.
Yeah.
To heaven, she said.
Yes.
Now, you said you love French fries. What about tater tots when Alex Williams' wife was hand-feeding you tater tots?
Well, it wasn't during Lent, I don't believe, and I didn't give it up that year. So, but
Wow.
yeah, tater tots are under the fried potato.
I mean, you
hash
already
browns, anything.
You would already one-star the show because of your birthday tomorrow, but dang, Deborah, golf clap for Longoria.
Wow.
The Disney
Oh
Fast
my God,
Pass to heaven.
congratulations.
Fantastic, Longoria. I cannot believe that. That means no breakfast on a buns for me.
Alex was mad. He was like, "That doesn't mean I can." I was like, "I'm not bringing them for you."
Yeah, crazy. All right, congrats, Longoria. Have a valuable Lenten period. Or
it will be now.
You are beyond stoic. Quick update. This just popped. President Trump says he's reached out to Iran's supreme leader seeking to negotiate a nuclear deal.
President Trump told Fox News,
I've written him a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
he says he thinks it's a letter they want to get.
The other alternative is we have to do something, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Trump says he sent it
Yesterday.
but a spokesperson from Iran's UN mission told CBS News they have not received it so far. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
I hope he didn't send it through UPS or USPS and it goes through Morrow, because then that letter will be really delayed trying to get to Iran. But all right, listen, maybe a major transformation coming in the Middle East. Interesting stuff.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today is National Tartar Sauce Day today. And did you know tartar sauce gets its name from the Tartar people, a nomadic group from Central Asia who are known for eating raw chopped meat, was similar to the dish as steak tartare today. Although widely associated with seafood today, tartar sauce originated in France and was originally used primarily with beef tartare.
The only thing I use tartar sauce on is seafood. Now, here's, as your fried seafood expert, use tartar sauce on fried fish fillets, like cod or whatever. Cocktail sauce you use for shrimp. Fried clams, you use tartar sauce.
Okay.
Fried scallops, you use tartar sauce.
Okay.
Shrimp, you use the cocktail sauce.
You can't use tartar sauce on shrimp?
You can, but I will judge you.
Oh, okay.
I will severely judge you.
Okay.
All right. Great fact of the day. I don't think there's going to be parties in the streets for National Tartar Sauce Day. All right, Deborah, just telling you to reminded me, the traffic team this morning gets the star of the show, got me around the traffic red alert. I got a make good from yesterday. Alex Williams got me a chai latte. I forgot to give him a star of the show. Maybe I'll give up chai lattes for Lent. Am I allowed to give up something for Lent? Just to, help the cause? All right, little guy, Gnocchi, Vinny, I'm giving up chai lattes. Blue, no more. Don't give them to me. Let's see. Longoria, happy early birthday, buddy. We talked to Sabina Castelfranco in Rome, Italy, updating the Pope's health. She gets a star of the show. Representative Marcus Wiedauer joined us live talking about the failed sports betting bill in Georgia. He gets a star of the show. Correspondent Jim Ryan, Shannon Kingston for ABC News at the State Department, and Prashant Gopal from Bloomberg News. A little bit of good news on the mortgage rates. Fast-moving news cycles continue. Updates throughout the day and the weekend on 95.5 WSB. I'll be at Longoria's birthday party, but I'll still be on social media at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Friday, Atlanta.